Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and dreamers of all ages, welcome to the Disney Countdown Show.
Remain seated, please. Permanecer sentados, por favor.
Hello, and welcome everyone back to the final show of season. What season are we on, Megan? Is this season 3 already?
3. That'd be 3. Yes, 3.
Girl, I'm already getting hyped up for season 4. I'm getting all these numbers and dates confused already. And
Me too.
This is so weird. And I'm so happy about this episode. We have a really fun guest that's coming in and joining us for this episode too. I can't wait for y'all to hear also. And Megan, let me introduce ourselves. I'm so bad about this, but yes, again, hello, I am the Dapper Danielle. Welcome to the Disney Countdown Show. And I am joined by my host from the other coast, Miss Megan, the Magical Millennial. How you doing, babe?
Hi. I'm good. I am just so excited for our finale episode of season 3. Yes, this has been, I cannot believe how fast this season has gone by. I mean, just this last year. We've been doing this now, Danielle, for almost a year, which is crazy. Having a blast and very excited, yes, for season 4, which we will be back soon, guys. Don't worry. But it's been so fun. We hope you've enjoyed the countdowns we've done so far. Plenty more coming your way. And yes, very excited for this episode with our special guest. Can I say her name? Is that okay?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
Yes, our guest this episode, you guys, is Rachel Potter. Now, she is, first of all, an absolutely just decorated and accomplished theater and Broadway performer, but she is also the vocalist and soloist behind Journey to Fantasy Springs, which is the song for, obviously, Fantasy Springs at Tokyo Disneyland. So, very excited to have her join us and talk to her about all things, musical and Disney. So looking forward to it.
Oh yeah, she has a very extensive background and history, and some of it even starts with the Disney company here at Walt Disney World. So I'm very excited to go through and hear her story and listen to all that good stuff. And in the meantime, some of you might have already seen the preview for this episode and our countdown with her and the game that we're going to play a little bit later on. If you've been following our socials over on Disney Countdown Show on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, or Pod Disney over on the Twitter and X. And don't forget, you also can watch our full YouTube videos for our show, as well as our sibling shows, actually. That's going to be Christmas Countdown and Theater Countdown. They have some other really great content. And if you need to fill that gap while we're on a little bit of a hiatus here this month, go ahead, go see our sibling channels also. And, give a little support,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. And then, of course, we do post videos from time to time on our personal socials. I am at the Magical Millennial _ and she is at the Dapper Danielle on all the things. And if you follow us, you know that we do post quite a bit over on there. But yes, we have a lot of fun as well on our Disney Countdown socials as well. And if you like what you see, either on this show, on our personal socials, wherever, just know that you can let us know on Apple. If you can leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. If you're listening on Spotify, you can go ahead and rate us if you'd like and DM us your reviews. So our DMs are open. And we actually have a couple that we received in the last week. Danielle, if you want to get started with this first one here.
Sure. This one, I love her name and her username. It is Jen Experiment 626.
Hey,
Obviously
it's almost Stitch Day. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That
couple weeks away. Yep.
Wow. Good girl. Again, time is flying by and I am losing track. Oh, goodness.
Same.
But yes, Jen says, Disney every day, 5 stars. My brother got me into Megan and has been listening to her.
Oh, yeah.
And he's been listening to the podcast. Oh, I just started listening / watching while at work, and it's so much fun to listen to. I'm listening to the oldest shows first, learning new things about the parks, and it fulfills my Disney heart while I can't be in the parks. Hope to meet you in the park sometime. Oh, thank you so much, Jen.
Hope to see you too. Thanks for listening. We appreciate it.
And shout out to your brother who put you onto the show also. Yes.
Yeah. Shout out to Jen's brother. Thanks for listening while you're at work. Glad we can be some background noise for you.
Yeah.
All right. This next one is from another username that I love, Zero Steamboats. And it says, a much needed smile with 5 stars. Hi, Megan and Danielle. My name is Eileen. I have been hearing your podcast for quite some time now. I recently have broken up with my boyfriend. I'm so sorry. We both did enjoy listening to your podcast and did our countdowns together along with you. I unfortunately wasn't taking the breakup well, and I was so sad thinking of all the things I once did with him. and that would cause me to be sad to no longer hear the podcast, especially the couple or romance episodes. But I'm happy to let you know that I have been re-listening to your past episodes because they bring me so much joy and has been amazing distraction. Thank you so much to the both of you for bringing a smile to a sad ending to a chapter in my life, but ready to begin a new one and have this podcast come along with me. I encourage everyone to follow Megan and Danielle on social media platforms as well to brighten up your days as much as they do in these episodes. Oh, Aileen, I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm sorry it didn't work out. I've been there. I've been there a couple times in my life, and just know there's always a better tomorrow, and each day gets a little bit better. I know that's hard to hear right now, but I promise you it does. Because I've had some pretty tough times with the relationships in the past, and trust me, it does get better. I'm getting married in a couple months, so there is always a better tomorrow.
Right. So, but you found your Prince Charming. That's really what it is. But
yes,
you had to go through some bad apples first.
But you always do. Yeah.
You know what? That just means that you're joining Dapper Danielle on her moment of being single and ready to not mingle, but to get awkward around anybody they find reasonably attractive. It's going to be a great time, sweetie. Let's go.
Hey, being single is great. Honestly, enjoy it. Enjoy the independence and the solo time, because it's great too. I had some fun times being just, living it up, the single life.
Oh, well, we do have some fan messages also. And this next one comes from Hazel. And it says, "Hi, my name is Hazel. I'm 19 years old and I am obsessed with Disney. And I love this podcast. And I get to listen to it every week when it comes out. I also follow you both on TikTok, Threads, Instagram. And I really enjoy the content being put out there, like Danielle and her history facts about Disney parks, and Megan with her mystery pin Mondays that she does too. Also, my birthday is one day after Megan the Magical Millennial's birthday on the 24th. Keep up the good work, ladies." Hazel.
Yes.
And she sent us an email to the Disney Countdown Show at gmail.com. Thank you so much.
Hazel. Yay. Hello, fellow Scorpio and almost birthday twin. Thank you so much for listening and watching. Oh,
well, and we
awesome.
appreciate that you also listen and watch our individual content too, which is so awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, that's awesome, Hazel. Thanks. All right, our next fan message is from T on Instagram. T says, "Hello, Megan and Danielle." You can call me T, by the way. "I'm a huge Disney adult from South Africa." Hello. Wow. Oh my gosh. Being from South Africa, Disney trips are very few and far between, literally. My niece and I share a birthday, and our family first went to Disney World for my 25th and my niece's sweet 16 in 2018. And then we went to Disneyland Paris for my 30th and her 21st last year. We are hoping to do Tokyo next. All that to say, your content on both your socials and on the pod help keep the Disney magic alive between trips. Thank you so much for the magic and the many vicarious Disney days I spend with you. Love you both. T, that is so awesome. Oh my gosh. How fun that you are 8 years apart, so that you got the 25th and the 16th, and then you have the 30th and 21st. Those are, and like, iconic birthdays, those are pretty momentous, like, birthdays, years. So that is so cool that you got to spend it at World and then Paris. Oh, and yes, I hope you get to Tokyo soon. Oh, we're all trying.
See, and again, even just throwing back to when we first started this, we didn't anticipate that our podcast was going to be heard all over the world. And then we have a regular listener also from South Africa. That's amazing. Hello, international fam.
That is so cool. Thank you so much for listening over there. We appreciate it. Oh, that's awesome.
Now, this one, I actually got this into my DMs on Instagram, which was amazing. And this is from one of our regular listeners, Amanda. And she sent me this message. And it says, "Wanted to share with you today, on our drive to Disneyland, we were listening to last week's and this week's Disney Countdown show. And you mentioned Orange Bird. And that was during the filibuster episode that we did."
Yes. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yes. And of course I went on my little rant about one of my favorite sons. Sorry, Chubby, but the other favorite son, Orange Bird. And she says, "And my daughter immediately told us all to be quiet because Queen Danielle is talking about her son." Then we went walking down downtown Disney and saw a mug in the window of the home store, and she walked in, bought it, and walked out and said, "Okay, we can go back to the hotel now."
Oh my gosh, that is amazing.
I'm obsessed. And that is amazing. So thank you, Mama Amanda, for sharing that with us. And then I believe her daughter's name is Ariel.
Ariel, nice.
Yes. And so shout out to you, Ariel. Thank you so much for understanding and appreciating the obsession with my son. So thank you so much.
And I'm so happy that we can have a little bit of Orangebird representation over here on the West Coast, because it's few and far between, but we do get Orangebird merch. So I'm glad you were able to get your mug. It's very cute. I've seen the pictures.
And Amanda sent me a picture of her daughter also, and she was completely decked out in Orangebird. She had the old Epcot, not this year, last year's Orangebird ears on. She has this year's Orangebird Loungefly. She had the shoulder plush. She was wearing an orange shirt. Absolutely adorable. Thank you so much.
That is so cute. That's amazing. Wow. So they have an Orangebird shoulder plush?
They do.
Oh my gosh, I don't think I've ever seen it.
Is he on my shelf back here?
Okay.
Yes, he's sitting right here on the corner of my little shelf that's here behind me. That's him. And then, of course, I have the Chubby shoulder plush. I have both of my sons so they can sit on either side of me.
So cute. Oh my gosh, I love that. Chubby, I was so close to getting, which I still might. I know he's still there at the Runaway Railway gift shop. So I don't know. I think I might just have to get him. I love shoulder buddies. Someone just sent me a Remy one, and I was like about to cry because, man, that's the perfect shoulder buddy, right? I know. Wow. So I'm going to wear him to Pixar Fest pretty soon. Anyways, so cute. Glad you got your Orangebird mug. We do have one more message, from Amanda on Instagram. And she says, hello, I've seen both y'all's content for some time, but I just started listening to the show and I've been jumping around on Spotify with the episodes. Today, I just listened to the episode where you counted down your top 5 Disney cues with Disney Dan. Ooh. I about started jumping up and down when Megan said that one of her favorite Disney IPs is Tron. Tron is one of my fave IPs as well, and it felt so good to have someone to relate to. I also cannot wait for the 3rd movie to come out next year. Keep up the good work, ladies. Yes, Amanda, I am obsessed with Tron. I feel like there's a whole Tron fan community out there because I loved Electronica when it was at DCA, and then it changed to Mad Tea Party shortly after the movie came out. But I love Tron. I just went to a Tron speakeasy in Montclair, California, which is in the Inland Empire, and so much fun. They did such a good job. Just I wanted to be in the world of Tron. I wanted a light bike so bad, or a light cycle. I wanted the little disc that you can throw. After seeing the movie, I was obsessed. Also had a major crush on Garrett Hedlund, so I'm just gonna throw that out there too. He's a hottie. And I cannot wait for the 3rd movie as well. It is one of the greatest IPs. And I think a little underrated, because I don't think it gets enough love. Definitely not in the parks. We got the ride. They got the ride over there, but not here. We have nothing.
Right. The Tron community, they're one of those, like, the silent ones, but when they hear a mention of Tron, they come out of the woodwork. Like,
they're the sleepers.
Some kind of horror movie. They're just like there, and they're like, did someone say Tron? Did someone say light cycle? And I don't know. I think, Megan, you're slowly becoming one of these people, and I'm excited for you, because that's me whenever somebody mentions Orangebird. So I'm excited.
I think so. And I feel like, because you never would really know, because again, we don't have Tron anything over here. So it's like, I'm just kind of waiting. I love the ride at Magic Kingdom. I'll go on at any opportunity that I get. I wish it was a little longer, but that's just because I love Tron and I want more. Right. So, it's such a cool IP.
I think it's not so much the horror movie scene. It's more of the people that you don't anticipate are the ones that are fans of Tron.
Exactly. I'm telling you, they're the sleepers. They're like, just any mention of it, and then you'll say, hey, I love Tron. Hello? Yeah. Oh man. Okay. Well, thank you guys so much for those fan messages. We really appreciate it. And again, we'll see y'all for some more in season 4, but we also have some new Patreons to shout out. We have a few in the chat with us today as we're recording, and our new Patreons are Anthony, Marlena, Alyssa, and hold on. They've got Alyssa and Elisa?
I think so.
Okay. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced that. It's Elisa.
I don't know. Every once in a while, we get a group of names that you're like, oh, are these all like either family members or are they all part of a band? I feel like Anthony, Marlena, Alyssa, Elisa, they all sound like like kind of like an ABBA band. Like they're like a
Right?
group of four, and
It rolls off the
feel
tongue.
like
Yeah.
Marlena? Yeah. I feel like she's a bass player. Just saying.
Marlena, let us know if you play bass.
And if you do, that's a crazy coincidence. I did not actually know.
Oh my gosh,
Yes.
that's amazing.
And y'all, even though we are going to be taking a break, don't worry, we will be back. This just gives a chance for Megan to catch up on content, but also finish her wedding planning that she's got to do. Girl, it's catching up on us.
It's coming up, as we've been talking about. Time is flying, and yes, I'm getting a little bit overwhelmed and stressed out with the wedding planning, but it's gonna be fine, everyone. It's gonna be fine.
It's fine.
So I'll see y'all for season 4, and on that first episode, I'm gonna be like, guys, everything's ready. I'm so prepped. It's I'm smooth sailing. We're gonna be fine. I'm no longer stressed out.
We're just
Hold me to it.
manifesting. That's what we're doing.
We're manifesting zero stress. Yes. But in the meantime, of course, we will be on the Patreon doing our virtual hangs and chatting with you guys over there on the Discord. So we'll be active, just not necessarily on the podcast. But if you want to join the Patreon and catch some of the bonus episodes, including the bonus episode for this, which, by the way, we are counting down our top 5 Disney Channel shows. This is our last countdown for the season. And we have our top 15 through or 11 through 15 going in the bonus episode for next week. So if you want to catch that, you can of course join the Patreon fam or become a paid subscriber, and that'll get you access to our bonus episodes, which we do have the extra countdowns. We also sometimes will film some just like fun stuff, maybe in the parks when we're on each other's coasts. We got some fun stuff there. So
we got some chaotic stuff. That's what that is.
We got
That's
some
just pure
chaotic
chaos.
Yes, chaotic, a little more unfiltered, ratatouilles, all that good stuff. Yeah. We have fun over on the Patreon. So,
and now, even Megan, we just finished up our Patreon hangout for this month, for the month of May. We just did that. And during that episode, I got 2 questions. Well, actually, not 2 questions. The first one was one of our newer listeners. She just joined the Patreon family the day before our virtual hangout, just because she wanted to listen to the bonus episodes, which you can do. You can do that through the Patreon, or you can just be a paid subscriber through Spotify or Apple to get those bonus episodes. But she was smart. She said that way during the break, she could space out the bonus episodes and she didn't feel like she was missing out on anything.
Smart.
It's like we never left.
All in a yeah. So it kind of just goes right through. You still have some episodes to listen to before we get to season 4. I like it.
Big
Smart
brain energy right there. Yes.
Yes, that's right.
And then the other question, or the other thing that we heard, was somebody was asking us about if we could share any of our special guests that we're going to have on for the next season. And I did tell them that we're not going to share anything just because we're still working out some scheduling issues with some new friends that are going to be coming in for season 4. You never know. Just saying, I don't want to get anybody's hopes up with like saying, oh yeah, we're bringing these people on, because again, we're ironing everything out, but exciting things to come. All good things.
Yes, very, very exciting. And yeah, keep in mind, we also do like fun little giveaways on our Patreon too, so you can win yourself some stuff. It's a good time. It's all a good time. Yes. And the virtual hang was super fun. Definitely enjoyed it. I want to apologize for our Patreon fam. I was at the parks trying to get ready for Fantasmic. Fantasmic is back, y'all. And we'll get to that in a second. But I was prepping for that because it was an absolute madhouse. Because not only was it Fantasmic returning, it was Memorial Day weekend. So good timing on everyone's part. Great job.
Yes. And again, we'll get into that for a second, because I need to ask your opinion on how Memorial Day went over at Disneyland.
We can absolutely do that. But we got to talk about this first, because Danielle, I know that in the South, there are things that we don't have over here in California in our temperate climate. And that includes what we have referred to on this podcast as the Jiminy cicadas. But there are actual cicadas in the South. Now, I don't know if they're in Florida. I haven't seen very many videos from Florida, but you have family in Nashville, which is where I have seen the TikToks. What is going on? Has your family been talking about it?
Oh, I've been getting video, and whenever my siblings FaceTime me or they call me, they have to make sure all the windows are closed, because it will cancel out. It will like noise cancel with how loud it is. Or, like the newer iPhone update where it tries to like noise cancel out and just find your voice.
Yes.
It literally cannot find your voice because there's so much noise from these cicadas going on in the background.
It's like static. Yeah.
Oh, it's like pure static in the background. And we don't have really a lot here in like Central Florida. Like we have one or two, like little pockets of them. They maybe further up towards the Panhandle and closer up to Florida Georgia line, but nothing like here in Central Florida. But oh my goodness, my siblings, it is crazy.
I've seen them all over the trees and the ground.
I think so. Now, for those that don't know, this is a special breed. Well, not a special breed of cicada. There are two different types of cicadas. They're coming out literally of the woodwork right now. So they only emerge every so often. What the first gen, I'm gonna call them gens. The first gen of cicada hasn't emerged since 2007. And then
what?
The second gen has not emerged since 2011.
What in the world? What?
And just the way the timing has like lapped over each other is that they both emerged at the same time. So there's twice as many cicadas, and they're all making noise because that noise is them flirting with each other and trying to find other cicadas to make cicada babies. And then it's so weird. So what they do is that they'll make the babies, and then they fall out of the tree, like they just die, and then they just lay all over the ground. So then if you don't hear them in the air, then you're stepping on them and you're hearing crunching noises everywhere you go. And and then the little eggs, the eggs themselves have little legs that poke out. They're like dinosaurs, and they burrow into the ground, and in the burrowing process they absorb the carcasses of like the other little cicadas that are on the ground. I don't know, science is weird, man.
Science is weird. It's just the fact that they like hibernate for years and then they all of a sudden reappear in the world. Like that is wild to me. They're literally dinosaur bugs.
Yes.
So strange and disgusting. I hear cicadas sometime out in the deserts. I think there's like desert cicadas. They're not over here, obviously, in Orange County, but man, they are gross. It's that, and then have you seen the video? They're not the same thing as Mormon crickets. Those are different, right? These are different bugs. It's not like a nickname for cicadas. Okay, so they're Mormon crickets, which are in Illinois or something, Indiana. They're a little.
That's another weird
north.
Midwest bug.
It's a Midwest bug, yes, but they are. You can't even see the wall. They're covering these buildings and the streets, and people have to wear bags over their shoes. And
I saw a video on TikTok of them swarming a building, and it looked like the entire outside of the building was black.
Exactly. Because
or Idaho. Taylor in the chat saying
is it Idaho?
Idaho.
Thank you. One of the I states. I'm sorry, I got my I state wrong. But yeah, how gross are those things too? Yeah.
You know, I'll take my swamp puppies and my gators and my gator ticks any day of the week. I'm not dealing with any cicadas, and I'm not dealing with any crickets. I'm gonna take my actual dinosaurs, not my dinosaur bugs.
Right? No, thank you. No, thank you. The only thing that we get out here are June bugs, and I can handle those just fine. They're just little beetles that fly around in June, literally just the month of June, and then they disappear. It's so strange.
Not mayflies, but love bugs. Usually we have love bugs, but this season has honestly not been that bad. And some of that's due to our weird weather that we've had. We are gearing up for side note also to those that are listening. If you are planning a trip this summer from like now into November, make sure that you are planning with travel insurance to come down here to Florida. We are gearing up for a really heavy hurricane season, like based off of the stats. Like we have some big numbers possibly coming our way towards Florida from the forecast. Just putting that out there. Anyway. Yeah.
I've heard about that. So yeah, travel insurance is a good idea. Thanks for bringing that up, because I'm going to need it too.
Yes, you are. But so we have a video that we just mentioned. It's by Connie from Missouri. And she sent us a video note, and you can hear the cicadas in the background.
Ow.
Do you hear that?
No, thank you. I need to take my earphone out for that one.
Oh my goodness. Thank you, Connie, for sending that to us. And she even said it's deafening, and that, so she's in the middle of Missouri where there's a lot of cicadas right now. And she says it's deafening. People's Apple Watches are telling them they are spending too long in a loud place when they're just hanging out outside. It's giving them that like, oh, this could be bad for your hearing because it's so loud.
Yeah, it can be. Absolutely. It can physically affect your ears. That is nuts. Wow.
Stephanie in the chat called it the endless rain stick.
Endless rains. That's exactly right. Yeah. It's just like one long rain stick, or like maybe 100 of them. Yeah.
And so they were not as loud, I guess, 2 weeks ago, because they were still slowly emerging. They're all out right now, but they won't start going away for another 2 to 3 weeks. So I'm sorry, our Midwest fans, that you got to put up with it a little bit longer, but you're so close. And then they'll be gone for another couple of years.
Oh, just a couple more weeks, y'all. My thoughts and prayers are with you during this time. And Amber says it's over 90 decibels. That's loud. That is loud. Wow. Okay.
Ooh, no. Moving on, we have some other things that we need to talk about in some breaking Disney news.
We interrupt our program to bring you this
Disney news. Y'all, we have some not so exciting news to share. And some of you have already talked to us over on TikTok and over on Instagram about this. Yes, Richard Sherman, the last of the Sherman brothers, has passed away at the age of 95, which is very, very sad. But, I'm so happy that he got to be a part of the Once Upon a Studio, that he got to record Feed the Birds in Walt's office. He got to play the piano one more time, and that got to be part of the Disney 100th anniversary. I think that's amazing.
Yes, it was amazing. And that was one of the main things I noticed when I watched that for the first time, is that Feed the Birds was playing when Mickey was interacting with Walt's photo. And I was like, oh my gosh, Feed the Birds. That's Walt's favorite song. And so, very sad. Richard Sherman was an absolute legend, icon in the Disney world, Disney music. He will be missed dearly, and thank you to all the magic he created, because man, it's gonna live on forever and ever. So
oh yes. And if y'all need to, I definitely suggest searching on Spotify or Apple, whichever. There is a whole album of some of the Sherman brothers' greatest hits. Not some of them are all Disney and some of them are not. Like technically from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, a lot of the music from that, it's not a Disney movie, even though people think it is. The music is written by the Sherman brothers. So like one of my favorite songs, and one of our Theater Countdown co-host favorite songs is Me Old Bamboo. And I like listening to that one too. So that's
a good
song.
one. Yep, indeed. Well, rest in peace, Richard. It was a sad day when that happened. So, but the magic lives on. And then, yes, in some other Disney news, we do have Rock and Roller Coaster. And actually, we've talked about this a little bit in our previous episodes, Danielle.
Well, I made a post on our Disney Countdown, or not Disney Countdown, on Disney Content, which is another collaborative that me and Megan are a part of. And I did a whole Disney news thing saying about how like nobody's talked about this. Nobody said when Rock and Roller Coaster's reopening, and they've just kind of, and like the cast members didn't know. Nobody had any idea. I even went and asked some cast members. I'm like, do we have any idea? And they're like, babe, they don't tell us nothing. And I was like, okay, that's fine. So finally, some people have started doing some digging. And if you go through in My Disney Experience, you can see that it is available for early theme park entry on July 27th.
Oh, so yeah.
That kind of makes sense. We assume that it's going to be opening during that time. This has been a crazy long refurb. It's been closed since January 8th.
Wow, so over 6 months, right?
Over
or 5
6
months?
months for this
almost
refurb.
6 months. Yeah,
and we don't really know what they've done. We just assume that, honestly, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if they like took down half the track and rebuilt the track inside. With
like they could have,
they very much could have. They totally could have. But
I mean, because we know that she needed some little TLC, and just because she was breaking down all the time, so we know that she needed some love. Yeah.
And it was so funny. here in the past couple of weeks, I've been having to tell people like they're checking the My Disney Experience app, but they're not looking at like a list of closures. So they were just seeing like, oh, there's no wait time there. It must be down for a little bit. It'll come back up. And so then I'm being that awkward person of being like, hi, I'm so sorry. I don't mean to overhear, but I'm just letting you know that the ride's been down since January and it's not scheduled to reopen until like end of July. And people are like, oh my goodness, thank you so much for telling us. We had no idea. I don't know. I feel like that needs to be made more apparent on the My Disney Experience apps. Just saying.
I think so because I went in January after they closed, and I noticed, I was, oh, Rock and Roller Coaster's down. Okay. I was one of those people that was like, maybe we'll just wait till it opens back up later in the day. I didn't know that it was scheduled for a full refurb, so that was me. But yeah, I'm glad it's opening back up. I do love Rock and Roller Coaster. Don't eat before you get on that ride though, because I had the worst episode or bouts of nausea in my life after doing that. So we had Woody's Lunchbox and then immediately went on Rock and Roller Coaster. That's
your own fault for getting loaded tots with artificial cheese product and beans. Yes. And then you go upside down.
Yep.
That's your own fault.
I had turkey sandwich and loaded tots, and that was immediate regret. Instant regret. Yeah. Whoops. So don't do that. But as long as you don't do that, you're good to go for Rock and Roller Coaster.
You'll be totally fine.
Yeah, easy.
Speaking of things that are reopening, we actually have one show that's reopening and one show that is brand new, one to each of the coast. And here at Walt Disney World, we have Dreams That Soar playing over at Disney Springs. That just premiered this Memorial Day weekend. And Megan, have you seen the videos of the crowds?
Incredible. Okay, no, the crowd. Sorry, I'm talking about the show. Sorry. Yes, I've seen videos of the crowd. I guess you could call it incredible, but in a different way. Yeah, that was nuts. Yes. I would always just expect and assume that crowds are going to be crazy when something like that is brought back. I guess they had a drone show years ago and then they brought it back. I don't know if that's.
We had a drone show. It was back in 2016 and it was only for the holiday season and it was all like Christmas themed. Nothing
but
like
this is
specifically
new.
Disney themed.
Right. And I feel like this is maybe amplified a little bit. We've got a lot of drones going over and doing all of their little effects and scenes. It looks absolutely incredible. I don't know how they do it. Technology is amazing. I've seen videos of it, but yes, the crowds, again, I would assume that they would have been crazy, but man, it was nuts over there. Like packed.
They did the cast member preview beforehand. Some photos and videos went out about it, and it got immediately great responses. This is the same drone company that is doing the drones over in Disneyland Paris.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. It looks amazing. I've seen a lot of video. Cannot wait to see it in person. So that's, and I hope obviously that the crowds will semi dissipate, by the time summer rolls around. But yeah.
It's
so cool,
weekend.
And I'm so jealous. Mm-hmm.
It's a free thing to get into. You don't have to pay a park admission to be able to go see this amazing show. If anything, I ended up watching a video of the show. I haven't physically gone to see it yet because, again, Memorial Day has been crazy and I've been hanging out with fam. But me and Mom watched videos, and I also watched a video with her of Disneyland's Fantasmic because she didn't realize how different our shows were. And Megan, you got to see the first night of it coming back. How was that?
Yes, it did. It was great to see it back. We did do the Blue Bayou dining package, which was absolutely wonderful. I've never done a dining package like that before, so that was fun.
Really?
Oh yeah, got to go to dinner and do their little menu that they have. You get to choose your items from the appetizer, entree, dessert, and then you just grab all your stuff and head over to the viewing area, show your little ticket. They give you the ticket at the restaurant, and then Blue Bayou is the one that's kind of like right front and center. Then you got the other ones off to the side a little bit, but they're still right on the water. So it was really, really fun to see again. I will say that Peter Pan coming back is really fun. I wish they still had TikTok. The crocodile coming behind the ship, that was a big thing that I think a lot of people miss as well. But still fun to see the Peter Pan scene back. And then as noticeably, there is no dragon. It's just Maleficent who's rises in her tower and uses her staff to light the water on fire. So which is essentially what B mode was back with our old dragon, like the OG Phantasmic in the 90s. So, they said that there was going to be an alternate ending. It was going to be different. So that meant, probably no dragon. They didn't really allude to that or like say that specifically, but we kind of felt we knew that was going to happen. It's not enough time to build a whole nother Murphy. But it's nice to have the show back. It's definitely different without a dragon, for sure.
You know what's funny though is that after watching the entire show with Mom, she still likes yours more.
Really?
And so Mom had never seen it before. She was literally just watching a video of your show. And if anything, she said that your story makes more sense because it shows you're actually following Mickey as he's jumping from dream sequence to dream sequence. And there's more references of Mickey.
And that wasn't right. That was part of the update in the mid 2000s. That wasn't even, it didn't used to be a thing.
I thought it was the update that happened in 2019 during that D23. Some of that.
It could have been. I feel like it was. No, actually, you're right. You're right. And then they changed a little bit of the sequence of the songs. So yeah, I think you're right. It's way more recent than that. Yes, they updated our story to include more Mickey in each scene. He didn't used to be there. He was just like in one scene, and then a couple minutes later he'd be in the next.
Which I think is closer to what our show still is here at Walt Disney World.
Correct.
But Mom actually really liked that aspect. And she felt like she could follow that, okay, you were supposed to be following Mickey as he was jumping from dream to dream, where she's like, I never understood that. I didn't get that in our version that we have here at Walt Disney World. And so she really liked that aspect. She actually didn't mind having Maleficent. She did say it's actually scarier in a weird way because Mickey's not fighting a dragon. He's fighting a person.
So yeah, it can be a little more, not creepy, but it's more real. You know what I mean?
Right. A little more eerie.
Eerie, yeah. Because Maleficent is, she's a queen of villains, really. And yeah, just having her up there. They did add a little bit more effects to her tower. Originally, she just rose up in this like black tower and then disappeared in the mist. They are vine projections on, and those weren't there before. So that's kind of cool.
That's
they
cool.
Added the, the lime green. Everybody knows that the villain's color is lime green. And so they're up on the tower as she's going up, which is, it's cool. And she's got her staff, which is, a huge staff. And and then the sparks come out from the tower as she is being defeated. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, it is different. I think it's mostly different because of how big of a structure Murphy was and like how magnificent of a dragon he was.
Right.
So, and because they're very different from the one that we had before. And I think the one that we had before is yours now. I'm pretty sure. Like the majority of it's the head, and then it's got these like wings on the side.
Chicken arms.
The chicken arms, yes. And I actually looked up a video. I wanted to do a little video on it because there are YouTube videos dating way back when of our old dragon who looks exactly like that. So, yeah,
interesting.
Yeah, it's got the sparkly wings on the side.
I also noticed that Aladdin and Jasmine on the first night were not flying like they did in the update from 2019.
Correct. There's been a lot of trouble with that flying carpet. I've only ever seen that maybe twice. It's been B mode a lot of the time. I think they have technical difficulties with that.
So maybe they got rid of that altogether.
They might have scrapped it. I think they scrapped it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, that makes sense.
But it's tough because they're behind water. You know what I mean? Like it's tough to see them. At no point does the water. At least I don't think. I don't know if the water comes down. It's just really hard to see them on the stage.
Kim in the chat was saying that they were flying on Sunday night.
Oh, okay. So maybe that was just B mode. They couldn't get it working that night. So yeah, okay. So Kim,
so the arm's still there. It's just persnickety.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. All right. So there you go. It is there. It's still there. But yes, still having some technical issues probably every now and then. Okay, Kim, thank you so much for that update. I did not see that. So good. Okay. Yeah. And yeah. Okay. So another, Elisa says that there is a projection of TikTok, the crocodile, not the actual TikTok. I mean, I know he's somewhere. He's got to be somewhere. He's huge. It's a giant thing coming out of the water. Don't know where he is, but I feel like he's got to be backstage somewhere. I would hope. Unless
I
they
don't
completely
know,
got
'cause
rid of
there
him
was-
with Pirates of the Caribbean.
That was the same time that there was also a Flotsam and Jetsam little moving piece also that came out into the water too, right? Isn't that the same era?
Oh man, did we ever have that? I don't remember
You
that.
did. It was for a very brief while, but it had a lot of, yeah, it was the eels, and they were on the waterway, and they did not last very long because of technical difficulties.
Okay. Was that
so
during the Ursula scene?
That was during the Ursula scene. So
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
assuming that that TikTok got scrapped at the same time that the eels did.
Probably.
Probably.
They got rid of it a while ago because Pirates of the Caribbean has been the pirate ship scene for a while. So
Right.
that would make sense.
So overall, I think if it's somebody like Mom who's never seen Fantasmic over in Disneyland before, it's not a bad show. If anything, she liked
Oh,
it
for
more
sure.
than Disney World's.
Yeah,
But I think us that experience the older version or we know the history of Fantasmic, we're kind of viewing it with a little more of a critical eye, you know. So
Just
I don't
a
know.
bit.
It's not a bad show though. I think it's great.
I'm glad they brought it back. I'm glad it's back. I think, you know, the investigation on, you know, what happened last year took a while, and that's why it took a while to come back. But I'm so glad it is. I'm glad it's here for summer. People get to enjoy it twice a night, and it still has that magic. You know, Sorcerer Mickey's still doing his thing. You got the amazing Mark Twain steamboat at the end with all the characters on it, and I heard they even added some more characters. So the first show that I saw, everyone was like, "Wow, that boat looks really empty." But then they added some more characters later in the weekend. So there's that.
That's good. Good to know.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's the news from the West Coast. Shall we? Oh my gosh, wait, Danielle, we have a guest waiting for us.
Yes.
In this episode.
We completely forgot. Rachel! We need to bring in Rachel.
I think it's time for us to bring Rachel in. Hi, Rachel. Hello.
Hi, everyone. So good to be here. I love Disney, and any excuse I get to talk about Disney.
Yeah,
We do appreciate you being here. And just so you know, us Disney fans right here, the hosts of the Disney Countdown show, are fangirling a little bit just because, at least I am. I absolutely love your work. You are fantastic. It's just insanely talented. Very much love your most recent work, of course, which is, if y'all don't know, Rachel Potter is the soloist, the vocalist behind Journey to Fantasy Springs, which of course just opened in Tokyo Disneyland. And it's absolutely gorgeous. So thank you for that.
Oh, thank you. I actually lived in Osaka, and I worked for the rival company for Universal Studios. And but I have a huge soft spot and giant big love for Japan. And I've always wanted to return. I'm super excited to be able to go back sometime. And now I have such a neat reason to go back. And,
Yes.
So it's really special that that my voice is on that song. And I mean, it's on all the commercials and all of the social media. So this is just a huge honor, really, to be included in such a big way and in a new Disney thing.
Has it been weird to like scroll through social media and then you accidentally hear your own voice at all?
Yes, and also like we're trending. We're trending on Instagram. Last time I looked, we were like the 22nd most popular song for Instagram Reels, which is super cool. And you know, the only thing I wish is that my voice like was named. Like I wish that I was like
That is okay. Going off of being on Apple Music and listening to the song over and over again because I love it so much, I'm like, why isn't your name on the track?
I don't know. It's a Disney thing. They like they buy you out. It's like, you know.
I've heard of that. Yeah, I've heard that. That's okay. All right. Well, Disney does what Disney does as they have to, I guess. But it's
all right. I just go on
of course to get your name out there.
I'm like, hey, this is my voice. Like, I just go in there.
Hi, that's me.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, hopefully by us talking about it here on the Disney Countdown show, and then we'll also be talking about it on our socials too, like it'll just really kind of connect the dots for a lot of other Disney fans too. So I think this is great that we can actually talk about it, even if Disney didn't put your name signed Rachel at the end.
Yeah, that's okay.
We'll help with the exposure.
Everybody.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's amazing. And I mean, I've just really enjoyed because obviously the park itself or the land itself that is now open in Tokyo Disney is very, very magical, state of the art, new technology with the new rides that are included from Tangled and Frozen. And just the song itself, that on its own is great, but the song itself is so magical. And I'm sure we're going to hear clips of it later in this episode, but it gives me chills to listen to.
It's really special, and it was written by a friend and a composer in Orlando. His name's Nathan Paget. They're like, "Hey, Rachel, we want you to sing, the final version of Journey to Fantasy Springs," and they're like, "Cause you did the demo," and I do a lot of demos for Nathan, so I was like, "Oh, okay." And then he sends it to me, and I'm like, "Nathan, this isn't me. That wasn't me." And he's like, "Oh, it wasn't?" And I was like, "No," and he's like, "Oh. Who was that?" And I was like, "I don't know." and he's like, "Okay, well, let me just, I've already told them it was you, but like, just create a demo for me of this song. I'm going to send it. Just make sure that they're good with it." And so truly, like, just his mistake is what got me the job. So I created a demo and they loved it. And then I did the song, but honestly, like, I'm so grateful for that little forgetfulness that happened.
That's
a happy accident.
Hilarious. I was going to say it's a happy accident.
Yeah, it was really cool. So sorry, other girl.
Yeah. Sorry, the girl who did the other demo. But I mean, it was meant to be. Everything happens for a reason.
Was.
I fully believe that.
Not to bring it down into a sad space. My brother was friends with Peter Pan at Disney World in Orlando for like 10 years. And he is known as a Peter Pan, like to all of his friends and family. Like that's such a part of who he was. And he passed away in 2021.
I'm so sorry.
Thank you. It was very sad, but to the fact that I get to be attached to something now forever that is a Peter Pan theme is such a little link, like how cool. So.
Oh my gosh, that gets me emotional. I'm so happy to hear that. I'm happy to hear that you have that tie now. Yes.
I hope I get to go
because
over
Peter
there
Pan.
and see it. I think I'm going to try to make a trip. I'm turning 40 this year, so I'm thinking about like a big 40th trip to Japan.
Do it.
You just need to reach out to whoever's at Disney. Be like, look, I've done a lot for you with this song. You need to hook a girl up.
You're welcome. And can you get me a first class flight out there? Thank you.
Please.
Right?
It's the least they can do. I'm sorry.
I priced those and wow. They
Yeah.
are expensive.
It is the flight out there. That's the worst part.
Yeah.
Everything else
Flying,
in Japan.
like, economy isn't horrible, but
Yeah.
I looked at first class because I have done that flight a lot, like through my life, because I worked in Osaka twice and I've traveled to the Philippines. And I mean, you're like literally, you're flipping your days and nights upside down because they're like the opposite time zone. And so I've learned that if you're doing that, the best way to do it is if you can get on a first class flight and sleep the whole way over. Like if you stay awake until you get to the airport and then you sleep the whole flight and then you're like somewhat like on a normal schedule when you get there. But it's very hard to do on an economy seat to like sleep for 8 hours. So I was like, I want a first class flight. I mean, it was like $12,000.
What?
Absolutely not.
I was thinking like maybe a couple grand, but not that much. Oh my God.
And I don't know, maybe I was looking at the wrong time, but oh my gosh. And if anybody in the chat can find me a good first class flight to Tokyo, let me know.
That's nuts. What airline? I guess with all of them?
No, I just did like a general search and I was like, whoa.
And that was probably one of the cheaper options if it pops up that first.
Yeah.
That's
crazy. Saying the book on somebody in the chat
Sarah in the chat. Yeah.
It's more about booking a great airline over the seat class. So
I see. And I think that's Japan Airlines she mentioned. Okay. Oh, Brianna says you can get a full cruise to Japan for the same amount.
Gosh.
Want to take a boat?
That's a serious Titanic journey. I don't know.
It's across the world.
Long trip.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could do a cruise for that long. But
now you were talking about how your brother used to be friends with Peter Pan. We've also heard that you've also been friends with a couple of other Disney characters in the beginning of your career. Can you explain a little bit about that?
Sure. So, well, first I have to tell you the story of how I auditioned for Disney World.
Please do.
Yes, please.
I was at that time, I'd never done any musical theater whatsoever. So I had been in like show choir in high school, and I sang at my church, and I wrote songs, and I was like a recording artist. I didn't know anything about theater, how it worked. But I was living in Orlando. I was going to school over there in college, and I was working just like a mall job at the Gap or American Eagle or one of those types of places. And shout out to American Eagle. Like, that shows my age, but American Eagle, like,
Oh, we love them. Yes.
yes, that was my life. Anyway, so somebody was like, you should go audition for Disney. You know, you can make great salary, and you can put yourself through school, because I was totally on my own through college. I had to pay my way. So, and it would pay a lot better. So I went to the auditions, and, you know, they said to bring a headshot and resume. Well, I had like a photo of myself, holding a microphone like this.
Just like the basics.
So
Yeah.
good. So I brought that as my headshot. Because, I mean, I didn't know anything. I'm like the greenest of the green. And I made a resume that was like, I worked at the Gap and American Eagle, and my job duties were cash register and folding clothes. And my type speed on a computer is 140 words. Like, I mean, I literally Googled resume and then just like made one from my actual work experience. And then I turned that in, and I never actually saw it, but I just really imagine that the casting directors like died laughing at my resume after I left the room. Like, this girl has no idea what she's doing. And then I sort of like asked people that I was sitting next to, I'm like, can I see your resume? And I was like, oh my God, people have like the shows they've done. Because for those who aren't familiar with this world, a typical headshot and resume in a musical theater audition is like a nice picture of your face and not with a microphone. And then your resume is like, I did Sally Bowles in Cabaret at this theater, and here's who directed. And you have those listed. And then you have like your training that, you know, I did ballet at this dance studio, and I did voice lessons with this. And then like your education, if, you know, like I got a high school diploma at that point, but and then your special skills. That's a general theater resume.
Like, do you specialize in tap or anything else like that in addition?
Yeah.
Mine was all about retail stores.
Well, it's like, it's a, you know, you thought you were applying for, it's a job. That's a normal job resume, but yes.
Yeah, well, I tried. That's all that matters. And somehow they saw through that greenness, and they called me back to be friends with Ariel in the Voyage of the Little Mermaid show at Hollywood Studios.
Wow.
So that was how I started. And they offered me what's called an equity card, which is the union for musical theater actors. And I was like, what's that? Do I want that? And they were like, you want it? And I was like, okay.
Because that's how you get paid a little bit more compared to everybody else.
That's how you make sure you're taken care of. So I joined the union, and I was just singing Part of Your World 7 to 14 times a day with some puppets and black lights. And it was the best time of my life. So fun. The next thing that happened was I became friends with Belle in the Beauty and the Beast show live on stage at Hollywood.
Just hanging out in Hollywood Studios.
Yeah, living my best life in Hollywood Studios. And then I got to play Flora Long in the Hoop-Dee-Doo review.
That's cool.
At Fort
Danielle,
Lodge.
I love Hoop-Dee-Doo, and that putting that
too.
connection to it makes it even better. Oh my gosh.
I love it. So that was such a great time, and so fun to be part of like such an, you know, old school slapstick comedy. My gosh, it was like a blast. I learned a lot about physical comedy in that show, which was great. And next I got to be, you know, the female singer in the High School Musical production that was a float that would come out in Hollywood Studios, and we would sit in front of the big blue hat.
Yes.
And so I was the female singer number 1 in that. And saying, we're all in this together in like 105-degree heat.
Yeah. On that giant metal rolling stage that came out.
So fun. And then the final thing that I did before I went to New York was I was friends with Nemo in the Finding Nemo musical with a puppet, and just gorgeous. So the same guy that did all the Lion King puppets on Broadway, Michael Curry, He's who did all the puppets for the Finding Nemo show at Animal Kingdom. And they were just absolutely spectacular. And
they're good. Yeah.
the music, same composers that wrote Frozen. Bobby and Kristen Lopez wrote the Finding Nemo musical. So just like that was probably the biggest production at Disney at the time, where it was the most, Broadway-esque level of production, a
legit stage. You had at the time, and you had the wiring rigs and all that other stuff. So you actually had somebody flying through the air, and I would say the most over the top show, more so than Lion King, Festival of Lion King.
Yes. Yeah. The Lion King was more like, it's in like more like Circle in the Square Theater, like in New York, where it's in the round. So, it was really cool to be a part of Nemo. And then after that, I graduated from college and moved on up to New York to go try to be a Broadway performer. But
that is so amazing that you were able to like
I came back a couple of times to Disney though, for a couple of contracts with Candlelight, and I got to be soprano one in Voices of Liberty at Candlelight. So that was always a good time.
That's so cool. Yeah.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Because I had sung with them when I was like in high school in choruses. So
that's
to
amazing.
Come back and like be one of the Voices of Liberty.
So instead of being in the yellow robes,
cool.
you got to be in the red suit outfit. And it was like super fancy.
Hi, high schoolers.
You're just here for the one show. I'm here for the entire season. Thank you.
Yeah. It was fun though. So that's my Disney life. But I got into some voiceovers and stuff there. I was as an employee, I did a few different voiceovers, but really have found my way back to it just recently with doing I'm currently the Blue Fairy voice at Disneyland in the fireworks show.
That's so, yes, I wanted to ask about that too. And I know we were just talking about you, obviously going to Broadway and going to New York. You have a very impressive resume there as well, in your touring. But I love Wondrous Journeys over here in Land. I think it's everyone's favorite fireworks show.
Cool.
Yes, because of the music, the projections are great as well. But I did not know that you were the Blue Fairy voice or the Blue Fairy part of that show.
Yeah,
while we were recording the last episode.
Yeah,
oh, really?
I did not know that.
It's only like 2 lines. It's very quick, but
from When You Wish Upon a Star. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes, and so I'm in there with one of the guys from I think Take 6. Is the next guy that sings. And then my dear friend EJ Cardona, he's the voice of Hercules through that.
Oh
the
my
Hercules
gosh.
song, Go the Distance. And then Shoshana Bean, I think, is Belle.
Okay.
I believe.
Yeah. In one of the greatest Disney mashups ever to be constructed.
Truly. It's so good. It's so good. And
Yes.
do you remember the Animazement Trio? Do you have any recollection of Animazement? It was a Disneyland show. And there was this trio. It was a mashup of Pocahontas, Go the Distance, and Out There. From
Wait a
Hunchback.
minute. Was that was it part of a show in Disneyland Park?
Yes.
Okay. Was it
Long
at
time
Fantasyland
ago.
Theater?
I don't know. It's been long since closed. Like at least 10 years it's been closed. I'm not sure. And it is my favorite. I'll have to send you the YouTube video when we get off that I had done with some of my friends, like definitely at least 10 years ago. But I'm doing this Broadway symphonic album, and I just got permission from Disney to do that mashup on my album. So
Oh, that's so awesome. Yes, because those are oh my god, some of the best Disney songs ever. So
Really
Pulling up
mashed up
references
so well.
to it now
Yes.
online, and the show looks amazing. If you saw pictures of this, Megan, you would probably remember it.
Okay, I mean, because I am having very, very faint like flashbacks and glimpses of it in my head, and I feel like I have seen it.
It was definitely from like year 2000 and
I think
like
it was like
2001
90s and 2000s is when it ran. And like, I believe Eden Espinosa may have been like the original Pocahontas in the show, like when Eden worked at Disneyland. So it was back then.
Got it. And
Like
Danielle,
before she did
can you see if it was at Fantasyland Theater? Does
It
look
was.
like
It totally was at Fantasyland Theater.
I totally know what you're talking about. Then, yep, I've seen it. I know
Cool,
exactly.
cool.
Yep.
So wait, did you guys work at Disney too?
Oh yes, Danielle. Danielle has.
I was
story.
a Disney World cast member for 10 years. So I got hired on also fresh out of high school, very similar. Had very little experience. And then I actually skipped class to go apply and I went in for my interview and they gave it to me, which was awesome. And then the world shut down. Then I had the highest in seniority at the time to reopen Disney Springs. So I taught everybody how to wash their hands and wear a mask when we reopened. And I decided, you know what? I've started this social media journey. I started doing TikToks and everything. So I went ahead and I was like, you know what? Let's try doing this off to the side. Left the Disney company in November of 2021. And Megan and also the chat, I have not told y'all yet. I actually just got rehired by Disney. And I haven't told anybody yet, really.
Oh my gosh.
So surprise. It's just a little part-time thing, but it's just basically a great way for Danielle to get health insurance because being a 1099 employee does not help out with that. So it's great. So very exciting, but don't worry. I will still be very much a part of everything still. This is not going away anytime soon. This is just in addition to and supplementing. So very exciting.
That's awesome.
Congratulations. That's huge. Oh, yay. So exciting.
And yes, for health insurance. We need that.
That's right.
You know, yes, it's funny because Dapper Mom, who's a regular mention here on the show and also in my content, as soon as I turn 30, she's just like, okay, Danielle, what are we going to do about health insurance and everything? I'm like, Mom, like, calm down. We'll get it figured out. We'll get it taken care of. Crazy.
It's fine.
Yes.
It'll be fine. That's why, I mean, why do you think I'm getting married in September? No, I'm just kidding. He's not a 1099.
Yeah, I don't even like him. I just need health insurance.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. If my fiance is listening to this episode, I'm joking. Love you.
She's not joking. So I have to know, Dapper Danielle, Dapper Mom, like, is this in any way connected to the Dapper Dans, or like, tell me?
A little bit. So just it had a nice ring to it when I was creating my social media like presence, and like the Dapper Danielle was not really a thing. There were like other Dapper Dans online, but I really actually was drawn more so to the adjective dapper, and it in the definition of to be neat and trim and dress in appearance. And the joke was that was me all the time. So it kind of falls into Dapper Day also, and that is my Super Bowl. Basically, whenever the event does roll around in the parks in Disney World and Disneyland, like that's the one that everybody knows I will be there for Dapper Days, and it's very on brand for me. So
Danielle has made she's created some incredible outfits, whether they're bounds or just simply like, very elegant, 50s style. They're amazing.
Yes.
Thanks,
Instagram.
So what
Instagram and TikTok.
It's truly like so fun to go to the parks and see now as a non-employee and just a mom. It's really fun to go and see all the costumes that people wear. Like they're like hints of a costume that they'll like wear to the park that are
Disney
like,
bounds.
Mm-hmm. That's what that's called.
Yes,
it's like
bounding.
color blocking your favorite Disney characters, rides, what have you.
Because they won't let you in if you wear like a real costume, right?
Yeah, not full cosplay.
You'll get kicked out. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay. So it's Disney Bound. Bound with a D?
Bound with a D.
Wow, I'm learning so much today. Well, I didn't go that far the last time I was there, but I did make t-shirts last time. So I'm like in the next step as my Disney adult self, where I'm at least making like family t-shirts at this point. But I made this, I'm a huge Swiftie. So I made this amazing shirt that has like the castle and Tinkerbell, and on the back it's a Taylor Swift lyric that says "Long live all the magic we made."
That's genius. I love that.
And
that's so good.
I'll have to show you guys pictures, but it was like all the, it was like Magic Kingdom font, on the back, and it was so cute.
Yes.
So you are a mom, correct?
I am. I am a mom 3 times. I'll pull up a photo of them while we're talking. So I had my first son, Jude, who just came in the room, and he's 7. And then I have Elliot, who is 3. And then I just had a surprise baby. Not too long ago, named Mila. Here's
Oh.
all of them.
Oh, the baby.
Oh my gosh, I'm a little baby. Oh,
That's my
beautiful.
brood. But they're awesome. And I have. Am I allowed to like show a video to you guys somehow? I don't know how I'm able to do that, but my middle child meeting Mickey Mouse on Main Street was the most magical thing in the world. Like, truly.
And was this semi-recently, or?
Yes, we just went over spring break, and I'm trying to scroll back and find this too. It is the most, it's like, it's why you stand in line, you know?
Exactly.
It's like, and my oldest son, terrified. Not interested in meeting anybody, anywhere for any photos.
No.
Not interested.
Okay. Not even face characters that don't have
Nope.
the mask on?
Nope.
Okay. Oh,
Like,
okay.
we saw them, and I was like, oh, look, there's Peter Pan. Like, you know, that's what Uncle John was friends with Peter Pan. Like, maybe we should. And he's like, I'm good.
Oh, okay. You know, that's
Interesting.
okay. It's all right.
But
Some kids just
my
all right.
3-year-old, oh my gosh, it's because he, you know, he watches shows on Disney Plus, and so he knows who Mickey Mouse is. I've made sure of that, and I mean, it was I can't even describe it. I'll share it, and you guys can see it because it's great.
I can't wait to see it. Those are my
so excited to
favorite
see this.
interactions, favorite videos to watch, like on any sort of social media platform that people post. I am all about it. So that's amazing. Oh,
Those
I mean,
those are, I
no,
think, what make me the most emotional is just seeing the kid reactions to Mickey Mouse, because like I still get excited when I see Mickey Mouse, because I'm like, oh my gosh, that's my boss, or he used to be my boss, but now he's my boss again, and then like all this other stuff. So I'm so happy that you guys had such a great experience, and his first time meeting Mickey Mouse, right?
Yes, for Ellie. Yes.
wow.
Yeah, it's I feel the same way, and you know, I love that Disney does magic so well. And I want to share with you this other thing that I'm going to be putting on my album that I'm super excited about. I created a mashup of part of your world into Disneyland from Smile the musical.
Oh my gosh! Wow. Yeah.
And it's going to be a neat little mashup. But I've started singing Disneyland in like concerts and stuff recently, and it's the bridge is like, I know you're going to say the trees are paper mache. It's done with mirrors, the magic there. Each little bird's full of springs. You push a button, it sings recorded music in the air. They've had the mountain refaced. It's only plywood and paste. Go on, say it. And I'm like, I am you. You are me. I know this is fake. I know that it's all constructed and, you know, carefully placed, but it's still amazing. Like, they just do it so well. They create this magical, immersive experience. And I feel like one thing they really hit out of the park was like Belle's Castle at Disney World. And that whole thing. And that's like just one example of how amazing they do things. And like, I still know in my brain, I'm like, I see the pieces and parts of the engineering, the Imagineering, if you will, but I still get completely sucked in, and I'm an emotional, you know, wreck and roller coaster through it, because it's so fulfilling. I don't know. Like, I don't want to be like,
it fills your soul. Absolutely.
It does. It's like inspirational and feel good. And I mean, it's just like being at Disney World for me is like a hug. And I don't like a big old, and I feel like
it's not just the heat. It's it's the magic.
It truly is. I love it so much.
It's amazing. I mean, just everything about it. At Disney, like you said, they do the magic so well, down to the last like blade of grass that they put on their properties. They just nail it every time.
It's the details. They care
it's all in the
so
details.
much about the details. And when you go somewhere else that isn't Disney, and I'm not meaning Universal, because Universal does it great too. Like
they're doing it great with these new openings of like Mario and everything.
And Epic Universe,
they're killing it. But you know what? They weren't always, but they figured out, because they went to Disney and went, oh, okay, I get it.
Let's compete with those guys. Let's try to keep up with them.
But when you go to some smaller thing, you go, oh, yeah.
It's true. It's still a fun vibe, but it's not the same.
You can really tell the difference. And I appreciate that so much, and like what those tiny details. The Disney difference really is that, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah. I get like, even just going back and watching the shows, you know, and going and watching your favorite part of the shows. Like, for example, I can, like, for World of Color, the Moana part of World of Color 1 and the finale, Heather Headley, Headley, excuse me. She does the finale for World of Color, Season of Light, which is the holiday show. When her voice comes on and she finishes the show on Let There Be Peace on Earth, I at full body chills, and like every single time I watch that show, and I have seen it 20 times a season, and it does the exact same thing to me, because it's Disney. You know, they're playing little clips from Hunchback of Notre Dame and Coco, like here and there. It's just, yeah, but that's Disney. That's what they do. So
they do, and they do it better than anybody. Yeah. It's so cool.
Yep.
I have to ask one question, and then maybe we should get back to your guys' agenda.
You're good.
What's your favorite ride?
Oh.
I mean, I'm a thrill person, so I do love over in Disneyland it's Space Mountain, and then at California Adventure it's Incredicoaster. I'm a coaster girl.
Fun.
See, where
at Disney World it's Cosmic Rewind.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
The new one, yeah.
Oh.
Where I'm the complete opposite of Megan. She's the thrill junkie. I'm just like, I really like the old fashioned, like dark rides, but currently my favorite is Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway over at Hollywood Studios is my current favorite.
Cool. I haven't been on that one yet.
It's cute.
No. Oh, you know what? I forgot to mention, we were talking about immersive experiences, and I'll say my ride in a second, but we went to Andy's Room, like barbecue restaurant at Hollywood Studios.
Yes. Jesse's, is it? Yeah.
It was like
Roundup Barbecue.
Woody's Roundup.
Yeah. Woody's Roundup, excuse me.
Y'all, it is worth the trip. The food was amazing, and the atmosphere was so cool. So anyway, all right. But I digress. My favorite ride is Soarin' at Epcot.
Oh, I love it. It's nice. Soaring around the world.
I love Soarin' so much. But we just went for spring break, I was saying, and I tried Cosmic Rewind. Holy moly. So good. It's so good.
Isn't it amazing? I always say every time I get off that ride, I'm like, Disney Imagineering was showing off when they built that one, because that is next level.
Truly. It is next level. It's like the updated Space Mountain is essentially how I felt. Like
times 1,000. Yeah.
It was like, it was so great. And then the Star Wars ride where you actually like walk in and there's like all of the
Rise of the Resistance. Oh, yeah.
Called Stormtroopers.
I'm
not really a big Star Wars person.
That's okay. That's okay.
Don't tell people.
Danielle isn't either. It's okay.
Right.
No, I love Star Wars. I'm just not as big of a nerd as some people.
Me.
Y'all, I do have to tell you the story. I went the other one, not Rise of the. Which one's the one that's like it's like a video game when you're in it and you like.
That's
Smuggler's Run.
Smuggler's Run.
So I did Smuggler's Run, and it was me and my son Jude and my husband, and so there was room for one more person. And this guy who was like a single rider joined us, and he was a massive Star Wars fan, and like was like bossing me around while I was trying to like
telling you what to do.
This is overstimulating. I don't know what I'm doing.
It's a lot. Smuggler's Run's a lot. Yeah.
The whole time he was making chewy noises.
Oh dear.
Like he was a big fan, and he could do the Chewbacca sounds. And I was like, at the end, I was like, that was crazy. Like, where was Chewie coming from? And I was like, was that you? And he's like, oh yeah. And I was like,
he was a mega fan. Okay.
I mean,
okay.
He had a business card, because there are people that are like so serious about Star Wars. They have like these troops that they're like fan club groups that.
Yes.
I mean, I don't really. Probably sound very ignorant, like somebody that's actually in one of those. They're like, that's not what we are. But whatever it is, it's like they have these groups of people that they are like Legion 51 or whatever it is.
51st Legion. Yes.
Okay, that's a thing, right? Okay, I didn't make that up.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, and they're mega fans, and they like dress up and have they have meetings and the whole thing. So I think he was in
51st is one of the more like legit groups, and a lot of like third parties and charities will actually reach out to them to like go in full cosplay and portray these characters, and they'll even go to like hospitals and charity events, and they'll be in full like stormtrooper and Darth Vader regalia, everything, and they go big.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love the commitment.
Now, I do have one more question before we have a game we want to play with you, Miss Rachel. But before we get into that, my question actually goes back to the Little Mermaid show. Are you aware that the show is reopening here in Hollywood Studios?
I am aware.
Okay.
And I actually made a joke to the director, who's a friend of mine, and I said, "Do you think I can play Ursula now?"
Awesome.
That would be awesome.
But I don't think Ursula's going to be a live person. Probably not. But
No, I believe it's still the puppet.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
darn.
That would be cool though.
No, but I have to go back and see it. That'd be really great. I still have dreams about nightmares that that I don't get on the rock in time for the curtain to open.
That is a nightmare.
That I don't have the tail zipped up.
The tail's not perfectly situated out there, so it disappears at the right moment.
Yeah.
I love when our dreams gives us like the worst anxiety ever for no reason.
I haven't done this show since 2005.
Yeah, like why?
No. Sorry, not 2005. 2009. But still.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well,
Get out of my
when it's been a part of your life that much and is so ingrained into even, a big part of your history and a big part of your career also,
Sure.
it's still triggering even now to this day.
It is. And I'll still have dreams that like I've shown up and they're like, "Oh, we've changed the entire show. Like there's 3 new songs and go." And I'm like, "I don't know it." Oh, and I'm like,
I'm just riffing over here. Okay.
It's so fun. I'll have dreams like that about Wicked too. Like that I've just been thrown into the show and they're like, "Oh, and by the way, we've changed everything." Okay, the curtain's opening. Yeah.
Oh, to those that are listening, Rachel also was part of the traveling group of Wicked, and you were the understudy for Glinda, correct?
That's right. Yeah.
And like a ton of other characters also, because you were a swing basically.
Not for Wicked. For Wicked, I was in the ensemble, and then I understudied the role of Glinda. So, but then I was more so. My swing life was actually more at Disney because I just knew like all those shows that I listed, and so there were days where I sort of became more of like a universal swing, where I was doing a different show almost every day.
Wow.
So I was just bouncing around, but after Wicked, I went to New York and I made my Broadway debut as Wednesday Addams in the Addams Family.
That's
Which
right.
is
That's right.
one of my favorite musicals. It's so good.
Yes, that was awesome. And Brooke Shields, for those of you who are old enough to know Brooke Shields is, all these youngins, they don't know the glory that is.
She's
Brooke
iconic.
Shields. I know. And so she played Morticia, and that was so cool. And Bebe Neuwirth also played Morticia with me for a brief moment. And then I did The Mistress in Evita with Ricky Martin.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah. So those are my Broadway things. And then I came to Nashville to pursue country music and became a mom, and now I'm a realtor. But
Nice.
a good one. So
That's right. Heck yeah.
anyway.
There you go. So then if you're looking for a house over in Tennessee, y'all reach out to Rachel.
I'll sing to you at your contract signing.
That's right. She does it all.
Yeah, I build new construction homes, so I'm
That's cool.
Kind of specialized, but it's cool because I have really dove into making music and theater and all of that, like become something that I don't have to depend on, and I can keep it really something I'm very passionate about and love so much, and I don't resent it in any way. So
yes, and that's
you don't
important.
experience burnout from your passion.
yeah,
And
I
that's
did.
awesome.
I definitely experienced burnout a few years ago where I, just was taking any gig that I had to just to pay the bills, and I ended up really hating it, and it was like not fun anymore. So
Yeah.
I decided that I was gonna switch it up.
For
And
sure.
I'm glad. It was the best thing I've ever done.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
speaking of switching it up,
Game?
yes, Chris, come on in. I heard you got a game for us.
Let's play the game.
I was thinking, Danny, if you're there, if you want to tee this one up, I'm not 100% sure what how the game runs.
Yeah. I'm happy to tee it up.
Well, okay,
So-
our producer Chris is going to be helping us, but also our producer Danny is going to be setting up the game for us. Come on in, Danny.
Hello, everyone. Thrilled to be here. Happy finale, Danielle and Megan and Rachel.
Oh,
Thanks
yeah.
for-
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Yes.
Been a great season, and I thought it'd be fun to sort of wrap up the season with something we've never done on the show before. This was sort of a harebrained idea that happened. Full disclosure, we have 2 text threads for the show, one for people who have iPhones and another one that includes people who have droids. And Chris has a droid. So Chris was not a part of this text thread, which is my mistake. So anyway, we had this idea. Yeah, so this was all news to Chris this morning before we recorded here today.
Surprise, Chris.
Yeah, I had a different game lined up, but we'll play that one next season.
Which Chris actually texted me about. Y'all didn't know. So that's between us. Nobody else gets to know.
We're really huge supporters of communication here at Countdown Network. We really do. But yeah, so I was just thinking it's a new game we've never done before. And, as you mentioned earlier, Rachel's song Journey to Fantasy Springs is trending on Instagram. So I thought, let's take advantage of the opportunity that we have here with Rachel to do a little old school lip sync battle.
Wow.
And so I want to pit Danielle versus Megan in the ultimate lip sync battle to Rachel's incredible track, Journey to Fantasy Springs. Are you guys game? Will you play with me?
Let's go.
Okay,
Lip
this is
syncing.
our TikTok lip sync training has prepared us for
Yes.
this. We are so ready. Bring it on.
Training for 3 years on this. Let's do it.
Yeah.
And Rachel, this is fun because unlike X Factor, you get to be in the seat of Simon here now.
Oh my gosh.
You are the judge. Their
It was
fate is in.
dreadful.
in
Yes,
your
by the way,
hands.
Rachel was also on X Factor for those who don't know.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I did that. I did. Not Fear Factor. Not to be. Every time I say that to people, they're like, you ate
bugs?
and stuff?" And I'm like, yeah. I look like that
giving-
type, don't I? Like,
Yeah.
I
You're
definitely-
giving me a new show idea has just spawned, and it is singing competition meets X Factor.
Oh, that's very funny.
No.
And that'd be- Will you be on
Rachel's
the
like,
show?
I will not be coming on your
Will you
show,
do it?
Danny. Thank you.
Yeah.
Nope.
But I will consult. So I think maybe let's just do like an old-fashioned flipping of the coin, and see who's gonna go first. So I'm gonna flip, and by coin I mean I'm gonna flip a little memory card here because I don't have a coin on me.
Nice.
So this is heads, that is tails. Megan, call it.
We're
in the air.
super high tech
Tails.
here at the Disney Countdown Show.
It is in fact tails here. So
All right, let's
Megan,
go.
you get to choose. Do you want to go first or do you want to go second?
I will. You know what? Let's do it. Let's go first. I'll go first. I'll
Wow.
lead us off here.
This is thrilling. So Chris is going to cue up a portion of the song. Maybe we'll let it go for like 20 seconds and let's see your best rendition.
Okay.
I feel like I
All
need
right,
to
let me
grab
turn my
something as
volume
like a
up so I can
microphone
just rock
instead of my
out. Okay.
actual microphone.
Oh yeah. Wait. Okay.
Should I use a lipstick or should I use my mascara? I think the mascara looks more like a microphone.
Oh, you've got a.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love you guys are
I'm gonna use
bringing
my
out
Grogu
props.
pen. Okay.
Oh, yes, there you
Oh,
go.
cute.
Oh, should I also have my carrot pen. Maybe I should do that instead. Okay, you go ahead and go. I'll decide my microphone.
All right, Chris, over to you. Here we go, Megan. You're
Okay.
on.
Oh, am I right? Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that was pretty good, Megan. That was
That
pretty
was
good.
strong.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I like the side profile.
Literally my favorite part of the song. Thank you.
I'm nervous because that's the part of the song I know the best, and I don't know if I know the rest of it.
Oh no.
That was so fun. All right. Now, next up is going to be Danielle. I think we should just do the. I think we should do the same portion just to keep it fair, so that everyone has we have something to compare. Does that feel fair?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Okay. Now I'm nervous.
Give
because
it your all,
Megan did really
Danielle.
good.
Thank you.
You got this.
Okay. 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 We're good.
All right.
gosh. Okay, I don't want to have to choose a winner. I think you guys both nailed it, but if I'm being forced to pick, I'm going to pick Megan, and because she gave us a side profile with the backlight.
With the backlight, with the glowing window in the background,
my silhouette.
I liked that. It felt a little Taylor Swift to me, and I really dug it. So thank you very much.
So you said you were a Swiftie, and I knew.
Megan.
Thank you, everybody.
Yes,
Thanks, Rachel.
Very good. Both of you, very good.
And the chat is blowing up. The Patreon fam is.
Oh, I didn't even see what
loving
they were saying.
Y'all's performance. You're getting so much love.
Oh, thank you.
Bravos from the crew. That was so much fun. Thank you for playing along, guys, and thank you, Chris, for queuing up the tunes.
Thanks, Chris.
That was so much fun. All right, I'm gonna get out of the way so you guys can to move on to the countdown.
All right.
Yes. All right. Well, that was super fun. Okay, so Rachel, in our season 3 finale, we are counting down our top 5 Disney Channel shows. As you know, do you have your list with you today?
I sure do. Hold on.
Your 5 through 1
here.
Okay.
Okay. I'm ready.
When you're ready, go ahead and start us with your number 5.
Okay. Now, I'm a mom currently of little children, so I'm going to give you a mixture of old school and new school. But number
This is
5,
fantastic.
That's great.
Perfect. Number 5 coming in is PJ Masks. I love PJ Masks.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Do any of the little ones have the PJ sets?
Yes, my son Elliot is obsessed with PJ Masks, and everywhere that we go, he runs and says, "Super Cat speed!" And when he's trying to open a door and it's heavy, he says, "Super Gecko muscles!" And we did a PJ Masks themed birthday. He has PJ Masks like onesies. Yeah, we're big PJ Masks fans over here.
That's so great.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
So cute.
And such a cute little, what I like about it, honestly, is that like the bad guys aren't really that bad. Like they're like very mild villains, which is nice for like little kids, where it's like they're kind of more just like bullies than they are like horrible bad guys.
And then that way the powers are focused more on like helping people, and it's not like you're fighting too scary of a villain, so it is a little more appropriate for younger kids too.
Like the villain is a kid too. Like they're just kind of like the jerky kid. So anyway,
that's not how we play nice with other people. This is how we be friends.
Yes, exactly.
Love that. Nice. All right, and how about your number 4?
Coming in at number 4 is DuckTales. Ooh.
Oh, so good.
Yes, I loved DuckTales. I mean, I lived in front of the television for like, some pretty iconic like 90s moments of, TGIF. And then I definitely remember DuckTales. But we talked about a lot of like other television shows that were other things, and then they transferred to Disney Channel at some point. And but I'm loving all of the content that like, because I'm turning 40 this year, so like the 90s were like my childhood.
The Disney Afternoon Gang.
Yes, Disney Afternoons, and so that was definitely like an exciting like little moment that you got to have every day coming home from school. And DuckTales, big heart.
Have you seen any of the new DuckTales series?
No, I haven't.
I haven't either.
It's like, if you're a fan of the old DuckTales, the new DuckTales is just as great. And if anything, it actually builds more on like the lore and like some serious background story.
Cool.
As your oldest one, Jude, gets a little bit older, he might even really like it. So I don't know. Definitely something to look into.
Awesome. All right. Good deal.
I've heard good things about it.
Yeah. All right. Next up, coming in at number 3 is Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
Classic.
Yeah.
I love Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. All of my children have really, really loved Mickey Mouse Clubhouse at like a certain point. But one thing that I've noticed with my middle child that my first child never did is that he responds to the television now. So you know how Mickey will be like, "Which one do you think it is?" and like hold his hand up to like for you to talk
listen.
back to him. And my first son never said a word back to the TV, but my current little 3-year-old is like, it's that one, Mickey. Like talks to him, and it's really cute.
That's so cute.
Yep.
He's all about Mickey Mouse. He
Ugh,
loves
him.
just interacting with him always. Oh, so
well, that
cute.
explains why it was such a big deal to like meet him, is because he was trying to communicate with him anyway through the TV, and to
He
see him
felt like they
physically
were
in
friends.
person.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait for you guys to see that video.
And
Okay.
this is where Hot Diggity Dog got started.
the Hot
right?
Dog
song,
dance?
which is now an iconic song. Yes. Okay. Yep.
Yes.
I am
And
very
it's-
fluent in.
Oh yeah.
It's very, it's very much geared for like small children, but it's like bright colors, and it's, what I love about Disney content is that I can put it on and never have to worry about if it's going to be bad for my
100%.
kids.
Yep.
Like it's always just like sweet, and they teach kindness and inclusivity, and then there's education wrapped up in it, and so that's nice. It's like turning on Miss Rachel on YouTube.
Exactly.
Just know you can trust it. But
Instead, this one is yelling, "Oh, toodles!" at you behind everything.
I love that.
right. Okay, so number 2.
Number 3. Oh, 2, yes.
2.
Now we're on 2. Old school Mickey Mouse Club with JT, Brittany, Christina.
Oh yes. Mm-hmm.
For when I was growing up. There's never been anything like it, in my opinion, like since that. And what a huge star maker that show was.
We've talked about it a lot on the show. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everybody that was on that show has pretty much done huge things. I mean, Ryan Gosling was on that show.
Yes, he was.
So crazy. So anyway,
For those who don't know.
I just remember
And,
that. And like
a
being
lot
a
of the
singer
show, right? And a
myself,
lot of the show was filmed in MGM, which is Hollywood
Orlando.
Studios now. So basically, you got your start at the same place that Brittany and everybody else did. So
I sure did.
Something about that area, it really just ties it in.
Yeah. No, I loved that show. And it was also like just so impressive to see all these little kids like doing choreography and acting and
Some serious choreography.
Super talented. Yeah.
really amazing. But I mean, obviously they grew up to be some of the biggest stars of our
Super
generation. So.
That's right.
All right, and number 1, I don't, for anybody that knows me or follows me on social media, this will not be a surprise, but I am the biggest mega fan of Bluey.
Bluey.
Yes! Listen, I've tweeted at Bluey and they've talked back to me.
Oh, yay.
They have reposted me on Instagram, like we're really good friends now, so.
That's amazing.
But I think Bluey is truly a masterpiece, that it is so fun to watch. Even like I have friends that don't have kids that watch it,
I don't have children, and I have watched the entire thing. And when the longer episode of the wedding and moving came out, did you cry?
Yes, it's so great.
It's so good.
And what's so they have, I mean, there have been other shows, and I think Disney does a good job of this, where there's always like some little nuggets in there that like keep it interesting for the adults to watch. And but the storylines and the depth that they go into, I mean, there's like stories of like miscarriage that are interweaved that they've confirmed, that it goes above kids' heads, but it can touch, the parents in a deeper way. And like there's always little like winks and nods that the kids can't catch, but that when the adults are watching it, they're like, oh,
we know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I see you. I see you. So
Yeah.
anyway, love that.
It's become a huge, not just show, but a huge phenomenon for a reason. Yeah, the messaging, the way the stories are told, the jokes here and there that are funny for both kids and adults. I just started recently watching it myself, and I did watch the longer episode too, and it I get it now, fully understand.
See, I was given in the beginning of this season, I was talking about Bluey, and Megan had never seen it before. And I was just like, Megan, you got to get on this. You don't know what you're missing. And then she just recently watched some of the bigger episodes. And I'm so happy you're finally caught up, Megan, and you get what me and Rachel are talking about.
It took too long, but here I am. We're catching up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great.
It's so good.
Really great. And I hope that they'll continue. I did read that like they have in Australia. Is it Australia or New Zealand where they record it?
I think it's Australia. I think so.
Yeah. Well, so they keep the girls' identities secret. Did you know that?
Which is good.
That is good.
Like nobody knows who they are, which I think is great.
Yeah.
And I hope that that's continuing, but they're like trying to keep like, those girls, like their childhood intact, and not.
I think that's important. I mean, we've seen too many not so great stories about obviously child stars and everything. So I think that's really important for their safety and for their well-being of their childhood. So
I just thought that was really
cool.
thoughtful and nice and kind of just on brand for Bluey, just as a whole.
Absolutely.
And I think it's also taught so much of our generation. Do either of y'all? No, Danielle, you said you don't have kids, and Megan, you don't.
No,
I don't. I do have an Australian cattle dog, so I have a Bluey myself.
But I'm sure Danny and anybody else who's listening can relate, like as a parent. And I think that we have a lot of differences in parenting in our generation that our parents didn't have to think about or worry about, which would be like technology addiction, and distractions that many more of us are dual income households, meaning that the moms are working a lot more. Our schedules are all so full up with like all of these random, like, now kids are in like 3 or 4 different, sports and activities after school. And I think what Bluey has really shaped and helped teach our generation is like coming back to imaginative play a little bit more and not relying on screens for our kids all the time, and like giving us some ideas of things we can play with our kids. Like they created all these amazing games that they play on the show that like my kids are like, Mom, can I play claw machine with you? And like, I don't know if you saw that episode, but like they'll come and bring stuff and put it in my lap and I'll like pretend to be the claw. Yeah. And I would have never come up with that on my own.
It's so cute.
But it's all, it's cool that they're like, just as a byproduct, kind of instructing us in a little bit of a way of like, here's some other things that you can do besides giving your kids iPads.
Exactly. Smart and so important in today's society, just because, iPad kids, it's a thing.
We see it all the time in the parks, so we see it from a different point of view.
Yeah, my son even was like, hey, Mom, can I bring my iPad into Disney? I'm like, no.
You're at Disney.
And it's, but I'm so guilty of it. Like I'll catch myself on my phone in front of my kids and I'm like, what are you doing? Stop it.
But what would Chili say?
Chili would be so judgmental of me. Anyway, all right, that's my countdown. That's it.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. So much, Rachel. That was a great countdown.
Really good. Yeah. Nicely done.
I think the chat, our Patreon family that's watching also is totally agreeing with your list.
Yeah. Oh, good. Good. Love that.
Yay. Oh, that's amazing. Well, thank you so much, Rachel, for joining us today. It's been a blast getting to know you and chatting with you about all things Disney and your life. So we really appreciate your time.
Likewise. Thanks for having me.
Can you let the people know where they can find you on social media to keep up to date with your new album release and all this other good stuff?
Yes. If you follow me on, I don't really post on X, formerly known as Twitter, but you can find me on Instagram at the Rachel Potter. The Rachel Potter. No others.
Awesome. Yep, Instagram. We love her. Yeah. Oh, well, thank you so much again. And gosh, we hope to talk to you soon. And do you have any Disney trips coming up in the near future? Or is it?
I don't know. I will be going down to, are you guys aware of the group Voctive at all?
Oh yes,
yes we are. We just talked about them. Yep.
Ursula song that you sing Ursula on is part of my regular Halloween playlist. And when I realized it was you singing that, I was just like, oh my goodness, she's been a part of my playlist for like the past couple of years.
I love that. That's so cool. So the director and the guy who arranges all the songs, he's one of the tenors in the group. His name is Jamie Ray. Is my best friend since I was like 9 months old. Oh, wow. And so literally there's a Voctive t-shirt sitting on my bed right there because they were just here sang with the Nashville Skirmerhorn at the Symphony Center on Sunday. And then I'm going to be going down, I think, to do some videos and songs with them soon. So hopefully we'll have some fun new releases coming up. And then I also do some work with another group called Voice Play. So I was just down there just like a couple weeks ago doing some things, but I'm hoping that I always try to couple up a little Disney trip if I ever get to go down for work. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
Hopefully.
So cool.
But
I'm very
really,
excited.
my eyes on the prize. I have to get to Tokyo.
Get into Tokyo. Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they need to get you that ticket for first class.
Dear
That's all
Tokyo
I'm saying.
Disney, please fly me out there. Thank you.
Yes. I am your girl, so that I am the voice, so help me.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you can make it out there soon.
too.
And yeah, thank you. Just thank you so much. It's so good to meet you.
So good to meet you guys too. Thank you.
Yeah. Have a great
A
rest
great
of your day.
host to have on the finale.
Oh, I'm so glad. I'll come back and talk Disney with you guys anytime.
Oh, we
For
would love
sure.
that. Thank you.
All right, cool guys.
All right. Awesome. Thank you so much, Rachel. Appreciate it. Well, that was so much fun. Oh my gosh. I was fangirling a little bit just because I love her and I love her voice and the song so much. So that was really fun. Great to get to know her a little bit more.
I love the fact that she played Wednesday Addams on Broadway because there's a line in Wednesday Addams' song called Pulled in a New Direction. And she says, she lists all these things that are not part of Wednesday Addams' character. And one of the lines is, Disney World, I'll go there twice. So for her to leave being a Disney princess to go play Wednesday Addams that sings a line about Walt Disney World, I just think that's kind of cool.
The universe works in mysterious ways.
It does.
That is really cool. Oh, she's so talented, and it was just great to talk to her for a little bit.
And I loved her countdown. I didn't tell her though that I didn't include Bluey in my countdown list because technically it's not a Disney created show. It is a different show that's played on Disney Plus. So I'll give it to her. But
that's fine. It will
it's
absolutely
fine.
get Bluey.
Everybody
to her,
loves it anyway. It's all good. We're obsessed.
And I'm glad that she brought it up because yes, I also did not include it in my countdown, but it's great to at least chat about it for a bit and the impact that it's made on so many families' lives, and mine. I mean, even if you don't have a family or you don't have kids, it's still a great show. So I'm glad we got to chat about it.
Yes. Well, Megan, do we want to go ahead? We're going to go ahead and count down our 5 through 1 in this episode. Our bonus episode is going to have our 15 through 11. But Megan, would you like to start us off with recapping what your 10 through 6 was?
Yes, I can. Absolutely. Okay. So my number 10 for Disney Channel's shows was Phil of the Future. Number 9, Hannah Montana. Number 8, Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. 7, Wizards of Waverly Place. And my number 6 was Even Stevens.
Wow. Great list. And we were so close on one of them.
We were.
My number 10 was Hannah Montana.
Yes.
My number 9 was That's So Raven. Number 8 was Star versus the Forces of Evil. Number 7, Wizards of Waverly Place. And number 6 was Kim Possible.
That's right. We matched up on Wizards. That's right. Okay.
We did.
All right. So let's get into it, shall we?
Yes.
Can I start us off? Is that okay?
What is your number 5? I know some people are like, okay, we were shocked that we crossed over on one of the shows.
I know.
I don't think we're going to cross over on our top 5, but
I had some people DMing me guessing my top 5.
Really?
So, let's see how close y'all got.
Okay.
My number 5 is Kim Possible, which was Danielle's number 6.
We were way closer to these than I anticipated.
We're pretty synced up on this list, I gotta say. It's gotta be the millennial in us. So yes, Kim Possible. I mean, what can you say about this show other than the fact that it is pure genius in the character of Kim Possible herself? You got the villains, you got Ron Stoppable, you got, from the food, the Nako, just so many iconic things coming out of that. Rufus, the naked mole rat. It's simply iconic. And I also love the movies that came from it. The Kim Possible, the movie was a big one for me. Really enjoyed that. And just, it's so entertaining. I wanted to be Kim Possible when I grew up. She was just so cool. Wade, the best, tech sidekick in the world. Yeah, it written really well in my opinion too. So that's why Kim Possible is top 5 for me.
And before it became Phineas and Ferb theme, and now it's Donald Duck theme, there was a Kim Possible themed experience here at Epcot where you got to get your own pager, right? It was before cell phones really, and it was shaped, well, it was kind of like a cell phone, but it was shaped in a little pager format, like just like what Kim Possible did, and you had to go around World Showcase and complete these missions. So I was able to live out my Kim Possible fandom here in Epcot. I'm sad you didn't have the opportunity to over in Disneyland.
I didn't. Yeah, I would have liked that, but no.
You would have loved it.
She was walking around though with Ron Stoppable at Disney Channel night, so that was fun.
Okay, I am jealous of that because I've only ever seen she has appeared, I guess, once here in Disney World, and it was for another DVC night, and that's the only time that she's been here. But you've gotten to see her more in Disneyland, so I am jealous of that. It's fine.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Not gonna lie. All right, what's your number 5?
Speaking of which, mine was DuckTales, which did replace Kim Possible here at Epcot, and actually replaced Phineas and Ferb. But DuckTales, specifically the 2017 version, I do like the version from the late 80s, early 90s, but it's the 2017 version. It has such great lore. It has such great backstory of all these different characters. Obsessed.
Yeah,
So yes,
I've heard it's really good.
I think you would like it, Megan, but it's one of those things of I'm having to rewatch it. When I saw bits and pieces of it, like whenever it was playing on the TV, I kind of missed some of the key story elements. So I've been going through and rewatching it in order on Disney Plus to make sure that all the little tiny like storylines are matching up, and it gets pretty intense there at the end.
I mean, I love that though. I think it's so cool, especially when, you have like the old version of the show, new version coming in. Also, I really like the voice actors in that one. I know quite a few of them. I met one of them actually at Disneyland. But
Scrooge is the doctor, basically.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, why am I blanking on his name all of a sudden? I'm thinking too hard about it.
David Tennant.
Thank you. Yes.
Doctor Who. Yeah, or Doctor.
Yeah. No,
Doctor Who.
He plays Doctor Who.
He did play Doctor Who.
He's one of the doctors, and then of course, everybody's a fangirl for David Tennant. Like they're all the time. So to have him
such a good actor.
Voice Scrooge McDuck, even better.
So good. Oh man. Okay. Well, I think I need to watch it. I need to know what everybody's
add it to your list. You finally got to see Bluey. That'll be part of your June homework while we're in between the seasons, is that you just start watching a little bit of the DuckTales. See what the hype's about.
I think that's a good idea. Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Number 4 is going to be Lizzie McGuire. That she was the model for my childhood. I talk about wanting to be someone. I wanted to be Liz McGuire and Hilary Duff when I grew up, because she was so, she was quirky. She had to deal with bullying, from Kate at the school, but she had Miranda and Gordo by her side, and you're getting through all the awkwardness of like crushes and stuff with parents and everything at home. I was like, oh my God, can relate. And her little brother too. I had a little brother, like literally it was like we were almost at the same point in life.
You related a lot to her.
I related a lot to her, yes. And I loved her outfits. She at the time had like the coolest outfits for, the 2000s.
Like, how are you getting bullied when your wardrobe is fantastic? Like, I don't understand.
You look great. I know. I don't get it. And you're so pretty. What the heck? So yeah, it was just, and of course the movies that came from it, Lizzie McGuire movie is, for lack of a better word, iconic. So
see,
Lizzie McGuire.
I'm going to be very transparent. I did not love Lizzie McGuire, the series. I don't know why. Maybe it was because of when it came out, but I really enjoyed the movie. And maybe it's because of the music in the movie. And I love some of like the sequence, the runway sequence when she's dressed up like an igloo. Hilarious.
Yep. Oh, that dress. Someone wore that dress at Disney Channel night, and I was like, "You win. You win Disney Channel night with that."
Yes, that one, and then the one from Wizards of Waverly Place that we talked about in the last episode, the marker dress.
And the marker dress, yeah.
Everybody went really big for the Disney Channel nights. Very cool. Very cool.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, there's number 4. Okay, so I know it's not in your top 5, but what is your number 4, Danielle?
My number 4. We're sticking along with the cartoons. It is Phineas and Ferb.
Hey, one of the greats.
One of the greats. One of the classics. I am obsessed that Dan Povenmire has been on social media, and he's been kind of showing, because they're rebooting the show. It's coming back for another season. I think it's actually going to be premiering fall of this year. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so it's getting enough love that people are like, bring back Phineas and Ferb, bring back Perry the Platypus. And he's kind of showing a little bit about it. And he's done a couple videos in the creator writing room, in the creative writing room. Ugh, words are hard. And he's like, guys, we just recorded and wrote the best song imaginable. And I'm like, okay, you got some really great bops in Phineas and Ferb.
You do.
And I have very high expectations.
I do too. Yeah. Squirrels in My Pants is like pretty high up on my song list. So
Bow chicka bow wow. That's what my baby said. Bow wow wow. I got Records on My Hands. Hilarious. Someone actually did that. Where were they at? They were at MegaCon. They were at a convention, and I'm pretty sure I was there, but he did the whole Doofenshmirtz with like this giant record player and like the cap and everything, and it looked like his hands were glued to these records. And I was like, that is some niche cosplay, sir. You win. Thank you very much. So I'm excited.
The more
about
niche
it.
you get with the cosplay, I feel like the better it is. The more hyped you get about it.
And
you know, especially if you know.
I made a video about it on social media. Y'all, I'm expecting some niche cosplays and some like really deep dive stuff at D23. If you let me down, I'm going to be so upset. Y'all just know that. I'm still figuring out if I can pull out a cosplay for one of the days or not, because I want to be part of the niche community, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Oh, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. Oh man. All right. What are we on? Number 3?
We are on number 3. What about you, Miss Megan?
Phineas and Ferb is great. It's going to be That's So Raven. Another one that was like just a staple show in my household. I'd watch it every time it was on. I got so excited when I flipped to Disney Channel and That's So Raven was on, because I knew that it was going to be a good episode. All the episodes were great. She was so funny, and again, so like relatable, dealing with the bullies. I feel like everyone dealt with the bully in those shows back in the 2000s.
And again, you had a fantastic wardrobe. Obviously, your mom took you to Limited 2. Why are you complaining?
Exactly. Why are you getting picked on? Come on. I also love Chelsea. I related a lot to Chelsea and her. She was like I don't want to say airhead, because I feel like, she was smart in her own way. But
Do you own a lunchbox?
She was for sure the comedic relief as well. So loved Chelsea, loved Eddie, even Corey too was super funny. So great episodes, and couldn't get enough of that show.
Did you see
great writing too?
Where Raven came out and explained on TikTok, I think this was last year she did this, but it's not Raven Simone. It's Simone.
Raven. Wait, say that again?
Simone.
Simone. Oh, really? Is Raven Simone?
Yeah. So because she's a child actor, right? She's been doing this since she was like 3 years old. And it was just easier to say Simone than it was to say Simone. So
they changed it for her?
She never changed it for anybody. So she actually came out and did a whole TikTok on it. It went viral, I guess.
Oh wow.
And I was like, I think she corrected everybody. So I made sure I said Simone in her new when I talked about her recently in a TikTok video. So funny.
Okay, I did not know that, and I didn't see that video. Thank you so much for letting me know and correcting me. Okay, so Raven Simone. I honestly did not know that. And that kind of but they always pronounced it Simone on TV. I said
right.
I thought.
And that's what she said. She's like, y'all are giving me crap for not saying it correctly on like, hey, this is Raven Simone and you're watching Disney Channel. Doot. She was like, guys, that's what I was told to say in the industry. I never corrected anybody. She's like, I will respond to either one. It's not wrong, because that is a huge part of me, but just letting you know, this is the French pronunciation of my name and where it comes from. It's Simone, and it has a little apostrophe E at the end. It's not I. It's not SIMONE. It's SYMONE, little fleur on the E.
And I knew there was an apostrophe there, and I was always like thinking, oh, it's interesting that it's Simone. I saw that, and I can't believe I didn't like pick up on that. So
see, the more you know, and the more that comes out later on in the internet. TikTok is crazy, man.
It is crazy. Okay, well, thank you, and sorry, Raven, for mispronouncing your name for so long.
But she even said, she's like, it's not wrong. I'm not. It's not. You can call me Simone or Simone. It does not matter. Just letting y'all know.
Okay. Oh, well, thank you. That's good to know.
Let's see, random ratatouille in the last part of the season that you probably don't care about, but I'm going to tell you anyway.
Oh, I appreciate it. I do. And yes, That's So Raven was, again, a show that was constantly on in my household. So,
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And again, a lot of reruns too for that show.
Mm-hmm.
But number 3 for me is going to be Owl House. And have you seen this at all? Do you know what I'm talking about, Megan?
What is that? No.
It is an animated series. It actually came out in 2020, and it only had 2 seasons and like a really, really short 3rd season. But I really, really loved Owl House. It's like 2 different dimensions. It deals with like it does deal with some like witches and all this other stuff, kind of giving Wizards of Waverly Place vibes, but all animated. And great storytelling. There's a character in Owl House, and his name is Hootie. And I'm obsessed with Hootie. He is one of my favorite characters, and I love him so much. So yes, I love Owl House.
That's cute. Okay, I did not even know that existed. Shows you how long I've been off Disney Channel. But that's so cool. I may have to check that out. Is that now on Disney Plus?
It is on Disney Plus, and it, like I said, it's only like 2 seasons and a very short 3rd season, and so it's finished entirely. You can watch everything, and it's very chaotic, but it's great.
I will give that a shot. Another one to add to the list. Love it.
It might be a little shorter than DuckTales, so if you wanted to do one versus the other, you could start with Owl House if you don't have as much time.
I'll start with that, so I can get through that and then get into DuckTales. Nice. I like it. I also like the name Hootie. Number 2 now. Number 2 for me is going to be Phineas and Ferb.
Woo!
And on so many levels, this show is genius. Like, from the theme song to like Ferb's one-liners in each episode to like, Candace and the songs that are put in, like, it's simply so well done. Lots of like funny little like instances. Me, my brother, and my sister constantly say how much Phineas and Ferb just like not changed Disney Channel, but really enhanced it because of how good it was.
Oh yeah,
and is now that it's of course being rebooted. But yeah. It's just a great show. I love that Dan is so active on social media. He's been in a few of my friends' lives, just like chatting because he is an artist as well. And so yeah, he goes to Disneyland all the time and talks to people. It's great.
He does.
So I love it.
And
if like Perry the platypus, I mean, come on, like,
oh my gosh. And he is also, if you're not familiar with Dan Povenmire, he is also the voice of Doofenshmirtz in the show.
Yeah.
So he's a key animator, writer, and then he voices his own character. And I didn't realize how many like one-liners I picked up from the show, or like everybody's picked up from the show. So like when something happens, like, if this, I would have a nickel, which I would have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird. It's happened twice, right? Yeah. Like stuff like that. So great. And on repeat during the holiday season are all the Christmas specials from Phineas and Ferb in my house.
Oh yeah. So good. So good. Yeah. The little, like the seasonal little spin-offs that have happened is amazing. I remember specifically one line from Ferb, and it's the most random thing, but it made me crack up because it was so random. And he just goes, "Sharks have to keep swimming forward or they'll drown." Like, I always remember that line and his little British accent.
Yes.
Like amazing. So yeah, had to be at least top 3. Put it at number 2. There
Very
it is.
nice.
Thank you. What's your number 2?
My number 2 is Gravity Falls. I'm going in with the
I
super
knew-
niche animated pieces.
You are, and I knew this was going to be top 5 for you. I knew it. I've never seen it. Sorry.
I know it's another great lore piece. Great, I mean, like great backstories. You think you're just watching a fun little episode of a couple things as the season starts, and then you realize as they get further into the first season and into the second season, you're like, oh my goodness, this is like some serious world building and like conspiracy theory stuff, like a lot of crazy stuff. And to the point where, have I ever told you my name tag story?
I feel like yes, but go ahead and refresh.
Random Ratatouille here in another Ratatouille is during my time as a Disney cast member, you have to put like your location of where you work. So like I always had like Kissimmee, Florida, Orlando, Florida, very, very basic. And I was like, you know what? Every once in a while, you can sometimes get away with putting down a random location. I've only seen it happen once or twice of people sneaking in there, like words like Asgard, Montana, or something really weird like that to kind of get into the niche place. And at one time, like if you go into costuming and they're going to ask you, okay, what's your location? If you try to do that, they're going to be like, that doesn't sound real. Show me your ID of where you live currently, and we're going to go based off that. So I would never be able to get away with it until one day our leadership put up a bulletin saying, hey, everybody has messed up name tags. We all need to redo them. Go ahead and write your name and write your hometown on it. And I'm like, oh, this is my chance. I can do this.
Opportunity.
I can write it down. So I did it. I put Danielle, Gravity Falls, and I think I put Florida. And if somebody asked, I said, oh yeah, it's up there in the Panhandle, close to Pensacola. And I still have the name tag. And I was like, okay, I did it strategically. So that way everybody else put their location. I threw my name right in the middle of the list. So that way when they handed this list over to somebody in Disney costuming, they would just type it in and just be looking at it and not even double check. They're just like trying to get in all these numbers. It worked. And I got the name tag.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And when I tell you, whenever there was a husband that loved Gravity Falls, right? That was the main thing. It was always the husbands. They really liked Gravity Falls. I would wear that one, and I was working in sales and fine jewelry, and the husband's looking at my name, and he's like, Gravity Falls? Gravity Falls? And I was like, yes, sir. And he's like, he would turn to his wife and he'd be like, she's cool, honey. You can buy stuff from her. I'm like, yeah, boy. I did my best sales whenever I wore Gravity Falls name tags.
Oh, that's amazing. I'm so glad you were able to do that.
So fun times. But yes, another really, really great show. A lot of great lore in it. And that one's also completed too. So if you want to go in and watch that one too, anybody,
and that's not the first time someone has recommended to watch Gravity Falls. So I got to do it. That's another one to add on. So many animated shows I got to watch.
Well, and see, I get caught up. I started rewatching that one too during my flights back and forth from California, because that's a good like 5 hours. You can knock out multiple episodes in one go, one way, and then one way back. You're like done with 10 episodes.
Oh yeah, easy. I can do that. No problem. Okay. Well, there you go. There's another one to add to the list, Danielle.
Well, we are finally getting down to our number ones, which is so sad. And thank you all again for listening this far into the episode. Thank you all so much for listening, and thanks again, Rachel Potter, for joining us as our special guest host too.
Yes, thank you.
If to follow her again, the best way to find her is going to be through Instagram. It's going to be the Rachel Potter. That's just her name, but the at the end, just like the Dapper Danielle. Make sure you're following us along on the social medias, on me and Megan's personal social medias too, the Dapper Danielle and the Magical Millennial _. And guys, again, we're not going anywhere. We're still going to be here even during our little break season, or maybe either join the Patreon or go subscribe to our paid bonus episodes. If you haven't listened to those yet and get caught up on those, it's like we never left anywhere. We're still here.
Yeah, it'll fill the month, and we'll be back in no time for season 4. Yes.
Absolutely.
But we do appreciate you guys listening to the show. It has been so much fun. Season 3 was a blast, went by in the blink of an eye. And yes, I did mean to rhyme there. Yeah, this is our final number 1 of the season. So let's get into it, shall we?
Yes.
Okay. My number 1 top spot for the Disney Channel shows is going to be hands down Good Luck Charlie. It is everything about this show to me is so perfect, from each of the characters, every single family member. I would watch this with my parents sometimes, and my mom, because she found it to be the most hilarious show, especially with their mom, and her dialogue, her one-liners were absolutely fantastic. It was just a really like feel-good show. Yes, they had their moments, they had the drama, situations they needed to, work their way through, but it was so funny. I think it's one of the best written shows, or probably the best of all the Disney Channel shows. And I wish it lasted like a little bit longer, but it went on for quite a bit, a couple seasons. So it was our favorite as a family. And that's why it is number 1 for me.
Oh, that's so good. When we had Bradley Stephen Perry on the show, Megan, I was fangirling.
I was fangirling hard. Yeah, I was big time fangirling, because first of all, he's so nice. He was very sweet, but I loved him on Good Luck Charlie. And I also was so excited when he put cheeseburgers from Galactic Grill as his number 1 spot. I do remember that vividly, because I was like, yeah, major props to Galactic Grill. I think that's awesome.
We had great conversation in that episode. And that was from the very beginning of this season, right? Or was it the end of last season?
I think it was the middle of last season, something like that. Yeah, it was a while ago.
Again, the whole timeline's blurring for us. It feels like it was only yesterday.
I know, but that was a really fun one. So yeah, there's my number 1, y'all. Hope
that's a good
you like it.
One. Very fitting, and I was kind of making bets that was going to be your number 1. Honestly.
I think I have said it a few times that was my favorite Disney Channel show. So if you guessed it, great job.
See,
good memory.
My number 1 show, though, and I've talked about it before, and I've actually talked about it in the couples episode we just did. Mm-hmm. It's going to be The Wonderful World of Mickey Mouse 2013 show, and the chaotic animation that some people are very, very torn on. I am obsessed.
Oh,
with
wow.
This Mickey
Okay.
Mouse show. I was like, okay, do I really put this in front of like Gravity Falls and Owl House? And I said yes, only because I love going to a Disney hotel, checking in and turning on the Mickey Mouse cartoons, and these be the cartoons that are playing.
Mm-hmm. Okay. No, yeah. Mm-hmm. Sorry.
Potato Land.
Potato Land.
Potato Land. Really great one-liners. I loved Mickey Mouse traveling through all the different like countries and cultures and making some great references to those. I love the animation. That's really what it boils down to. Also, I really enjoy it.
Okay. So this is where you and I differ. I see. Right.
See, and I
don't
think
like this style.
No, I know a lot of people don't like the style. It is because we're all millennials and Gen Xers that grew up with the 80s, 90s style Mickey Mouse, where I'm seeing it from like, okay, it's not the Mickey that we grew up with. This is the animation style that's paying homage to Steamboat Willie, but also Rubber Hose style animation and the crazy chaoticness of that. I get it. I love it. I don't know. So that's why it's sitting there at my number 1 is the craziness.
Okay. I mean, I like it. I definitely can appreciate it. This is, I gotta say, another show that I have not watched simply because of my, I don't know what it is, y'all, about my like avoidance of this animation style of Mickey Mouse and Mickey and Friends. But I love Runaway Railway. I do. So there's that. I know that's in the same animation style.
Yes.
But I'm so happy that that's your number one. It's getting some love, and I like it. It's getting a lot of love in the chat too. So
start off with the first couple ones where it's Mickey traveling around the world, before the newer, because it's technically multiple different series, but it's that same animation style, and they're kind of lumping them all together. Okay. But there's not as much dialogue, and it's just fun little adventures, and I think you'll really like that first. There is again, the holiday specials, the Christmas holiday special of Duck the Halls. Iconic and chaos. It is my favorite.
I do love holiday specials. I'm pretty sure I can watch that no problem. So that's cool. Well, yay! Awesome. Okay, we definitely, it's so funny how we went from like our 6 through 10 being almost the same to like complete opposites for 1 through 5.
It shows our personality, because I'm a really big animation fan, and some of y'all know that when growing up, one of my dreams was to be an animator at Disney. So I have a really big like appreciation, and like I'm part of that animation fandom specifically. And I just happened to enjoy it more than I did the live actions, but I still enjoyed a lot of them, like Raven, Hannah Montana, all those shows. So yes.
Oh, that's awesome. Yay. Well, a great list all around. And this was so much fun. Thank you all so much for listening to the Disney Countdown Show. This was our last countdown for season 3 once again. And I gotta say, it's been a blast. So we really appreciate you listening in. And of course, if you want to share your countdowns with us or send us a message, we are wide open for the next month. Do not worry. Just because we're not recording the episodes doesn't mean we fell off the face of the earth. So please send us your countdowns, your opinions on ours, and we'd love to hear it. And we also, of course, we'll be recording a bonus episode for you for this one. If you want to take a listen, we are on Patreon. You can search Disney Countdown Show there. We had the link in our episode notes, or become a paid subscriber, and you'll get some bonus content for the month that we're gone. Just a little break.
And honestly, y'all, when we come back in July, we're going to be hitting the ground running. We're going to hear halfway to Christmas news. We're going to be getting ready for Halloween season, because that's going to be starting up in the middle of August. We're going to be getting ready for all that stuff too. We're going to be talking about more food. Disney Treasure is going to be coming out, the new ship. We got a lot of stuff. D23. Oh my goodness. I'm already exhausted, and we haven't even gotten to the month yet.
Right? I know. It's going to be coming up real fast. Yes, but can't wait. Lots of exciting things on the way. So again, thank y'all for listening, and we'll see you in about a month. But until then, have a very magical day.
And night night, sleep tight, dream of churros tonight. Oh, that was such a good episode. I love Rachel in there too. That was a really good one. I think that was a good one to end the season with.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
To have your name at the end of our new episodes and to receive a bunch of magical perks, please check out our Patreon via the link in the episode notes.
Or visit patreon.com/Disney Countdown Show. We'll see you there.